What do you got?
I think I can prove to a judge that both of these men had the mens rea.
What the hell is a mens rea?
It's a legal term the lawyers use. It just means the intention to commit a crime.
Okay, come on, let's go.
Mens rea?
Put the cuffs on him.
How could we have gotten mens rea? We take blood? Can you do it without taking blood? We both use condoms. How is this possible? I want to see a doctor. Can I have an independent blood test?
Money!
I feel sick.
What are you doing?
Mens rea! Oh! Oh! My God!
We are mediocre, and all mediocre people can do is get drunk and forget.
Hey, bro, come on, let's get drunk.
I get drunk. Real drunk. I want to get drunk.
I mean, sure, when you get drunk, you're awful disgusting. You smell, too.
Drunk and stay drunk.
Let's get drunk and pass out.
Did you get drunk, dance in your underwear and sing sea shanties?
I got a hell of a good idea. Let's get drunk.
All we want is to pass out and get drunk. Have a little peace.
So, we get drunk, and we're left like hell, and then we die. And the pipe dream vanish.
They deserve to unwind and get drunk.
We have to get drunk immediately.
Are you gonna get drunk tonight, Daddy?
Damn.
Well, I say we get drunk because I'm all out of ideas.
I am not gay. I have relationships with women and sex with men.
And I got news for you. That means you're gay.
Hey, everybody. How you doing, Nick?
Oh, good, man. How are you?
I'm so one, surprised you managed to get up. Two, glad you're here. You are up ass early.
Managed is one way to put it. It is early. I mean, it's not that early, but it's early for me.
It's early for people like us that because I'm mentioning the people that think we don't sleep, but there's just like a certain time, a certain 2-3 hours where you're just useless to humanity, whether you're just laying in bed or whether you're actually asleep.
Yeah, and those 2 hours for me are between 5 a.m. and 6 p.m.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I know you've probably been up about 35 seconds, but how are you feeling generally? It's a little too early to ask how's your day going.
I'm feeling pretty good, man. How are you?
Pretty darn good. It's the 1 year anniversary of this little thing that I'm calling Legal Vices, and that's kind of the reason you're here.
Hell yeah, man.
We had Andrew on yesterday, and he's the one that talked me into doing all this stuff. And for some reason, 2 weeks after I started doing this, you decided to put me on the Johnny Depp stream with you, which I still have no idea. Why did you do that? If you can even remember, what the hell were you thinking?
Well, I wasn't. Really, I was making all of the wrong life decisions. It's like, yeah, just go ahead and throw everything away and invite Jeff on. Just do that.
Oh, there you go.
No, I'm just kidding, man. No, Legal Mindset, was one of my initial streaming homies from the Kyle Rittenhouse trial.
Yeah.
And this is all like weird drama, water under the bridge now. Going into the Johnny Depp trial, I didn't really plan on doing the like big panel coverage of it at all. Because Legal Bites had approached me earlier and said that she really wanted to stream the Johnny Depp trial. And I was like, well, go ahead. Like, I'm not stopping you. I don't care. Said, but my audience wants to watch it with me. So I'm going to stream it. And, I'm going to encourage people to go to your show, like the panel or whatever, to go to your show. But I'm going to, just kind of do my own thing. And so then I was like, well, here I am watching this Johnny Depp show. And most of the people I know were actually hanging out over on Legal Bites' channel. I was like, that's fine. But I was bored by myself watching the Johnny Depp trial. And
there's like literally no one left on YouTube other than me.
Well, I had there are a couple people
Branca on there.
Branca, he didn't really care about going on Legal Bites' show. And I think Ty came on a couple times, stuff like that. But so then Mindset was like, hey man, you should bring this guy on. So I was like, yeah, let's try that out. That was a mistake.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was at that point. I'll grant you that.
No, man, it was good. It was really good.
Well, I mean, it was a huge risk on your part, which I am deeply, indebted and grateful because, that launched me to relatively minor nothingness stardom. But hey, here I am a year later and still doing it. But I mean, that was a huge risk, and I do appreciate you doing that. That was unexpected. Just Andrew, just like, you want to go on? You going on Nick's show tonight? I'm like, okay, all right. Okay. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad that it happened, man, because you've turned out to be one of the funniest people around.
Gee, not if I read your chat. It's fair. Well, see, that was the thing. I'll give I guess this was before locals existed for you, but during that, I mean, everybody, it's a trial by fire with your chat. It's like, can you take this shit or not? If you can't take the shit, you're just done. But you weather the storm, you lean into things, and things go well. And they accepted me, so I'm pretty happy with that.
It's kind of easy. Like it can be intimidating. I get that if you're not used to it. If you're not used to dealing with people who will like throw some shit your way for a little bit, but the reality is like everybody just wants someone who isn't a bitch.
Yeah.
Like it's like just please just don't be a bitch. Like don't and why like laugh with us and realize that you're being ribbed kind of like you're our friend.
Yeah.
You would rib one of our buddies and then just don't be someone who sucks to have on camera, and that's it. Like it's not actually that hard.
Simple. But I can kind of point to two turning points, sort of like okay, maybe he's gonna make it to the all right, one of us moment. The first one was, I mean, I can't even remember what the hell it was, but it was just everything was like fuck you in the chat, and I'm like, well, fuck you right back. And then it's like, oh, wait a minute, this guy's cool. And the other was when someone brought up the Law Racks thing, and I've just leaned the hell into that. And that was like, he's cool.
Was that Mandy? Who called you the Law Racks
I
first?
can't remember who did it first. But she started throwing up her little images and things, her drawings and whatnot. But yeah, I just kind of leaned because I thought it was hilarious.
Right.
It was just funny as hell.
That's fucking great.
Because I mean, before that, it was just Dr. Robotnik was all I was getting. And well, in fact, that was for those of you that were here from literally day one. Well, not literally day one, because it took about 3 days for someone to start doing the Dr. Robotnik thing. That was my original shitty look what Fiverr created for me intro. It was this. Like 15 seconds. I can't even.
Oh God.
Those were the days, but now I got a guy. Now I've got a guy to do things for me, but
that musical riff made me want to die.
Got to get the 8-bit Dr. Robotnik from Sonic 1. That was actually really damn hard to find online, and I'm surprised that Sega didn't just rip my guts out from day one for using it.
It's because Sega is dead inside. Sega is more dead inside than a high school history teacher who teaches women's history of the 3rd century AD.
Well, that was rather specific.
I don't have any named characters.
That was oddly specific there. Yes, Jeff was a barrel scrape.
Look, but hey, look, when you are scraping the bottom of the barrel, sometimes there's like a layer of grime, and on the other side of it, there's just that coin or what, I don't know what's on the bottom. What is on the bottom of the barrel? What do you scrape the bottom of a barrel for?
Dregs, grunge, coffee grinds. I don't know. Fruit. I don't know.
Yeah. I'm not sure.
whatever it is in there.
Something.
Well, anyways, his dick is funny. I hope you're talking about Masterson. Otherwise, it's really awkward in here now. But yeah, I played Dick's Crowder thing last night.
Oh boy.
He went hot on that one.
Yeah, he was not pulling punches on that one. It was a very subtle approach to that situation.
Oh my, we gotta burn through a couple of these super chats here before I get too far behind. After we do that, I got a question. Marv White says didn't send anything yesterday, so let's start Doggo Camp strong today. That's another grift. We just reach a certain point and we start throwing the dog cam on. Well, thank you, Marv White. That's very nice of you. Aaron, late and sober. Let's get to the peppers and happy anniversary. Thanks. Flux, Mocha Dick Poon, XOXO, fully adjustable, blow for freedom, and as always, Panther Prison. Please play the Dick Masterson clip again. It's on YouTube. I mean, it's on Twitter if you want to find it. I don't want Crowder coming after me like he's coming after his wife.
What's up, Flux?
Yeah. And that's just pure entertainment. Hi, Nick. I think you're cool.
Jeff doesn't want to play that clip. Jeff likes to be able to drive his car.
I do. I've only got one too. So if you take that away, I got to take it over. Pope Rackets, please bless my Zion 15 in good health and its new X3 magnifier, some Magpul sights and mag couplers, and a chunky 100 round because 102 round magazine would just be excessive. 100 round mag drum. Oh, hi, Jeff.
Yeah, bless your Zion 15, my son. May it always pew pew in the proper direction.
That's helpful in the proper direction. Heather Sparrow, that was the one where Jeff fell asleep during. I may have nodded off a couple times during the Johnny Depp thing, but hey, I wasn't used to not really sleeping. And Nick has a bald spot. Prove me wrong. Well, we all do underneath our hair. So
I can't prove you wrong. I mean, of hair, I guess. I don't know.
No, it looks okay to me. Yeah.
I feel like, did you ever see that Calvin and Hobbes where he took his school photos backwards? See,
I don't remember it.
Like did his arms this way and his head this way. School photos, so it looked like his head was on backwards. Yeah.
And Aaron says, Law Rax versus Law Pope, who will win? Of course, my measly little me would just be crushed every time. So, Dragon's Treasure, what's up? I do have some. I do have my Dragon's Treasure tea here, but I didn't bring any water. So, I take personal responsibility for both Rekieta's and Vice's rise on YouTube. Don't question it now. Buy some tea and some soon. It's actually going to have some candy cane tea tonight. This is like really good.
Candy
it's like black tea, candy cane pieces, and peppermint. I love mint. I'm like a big mint flavor guy, so it's just like super.
Oh, dude, yeah. As far as I like mint in general, but as far as tea goes, yeah, mint in tea is it's like
it is.
It's like soothing, but also like exhilarating at the same time.
Yeah, it gives you that little pickup, but you go, mint.
Yeah, yeah.
And by the way, everybody should just go to thedragonstreasure.com. Use code VICES today and get 10% off. It's a win-win-win. He gets a sale, you get 10% off, and I get a 5% kickback so I can buy some more tea. So get tea bagged over at Dragon's Treasure.
Please, someone buy his tea. Someone please buy his tea.
Torgo, though, I changed my mind. All right, we're gonna leave Crowder here behind if y'all don't mind, and Dick, because there'll be plenty of Dick to go around. There'll be a lot of Dick in the future. So
yes,
there's just no way of saying that, is there? I think all right. We got these last two. Then we're gonna ignore you guys for no. Just kidding. Heather Sparrows is my first memory of Jeff is him passing out on Nick's stream during the Depp trial. I mean, falling asleep. Yeah, it was definitely falling asleep. Congrats, Legal Vices, unbreaded. Well, thank you very much, you guys.
Hey, what's up, Allo?
Well, that's I think that warrants. Well, that was such a nice little introduction there that I think that warrants dog cam. The dog cam's our third guest usually. For some reason.
Oh my!
For some reason, people like the dogs, so we just let them sit there. They just there's little corpses.
God, I wish that were me.
gives people something else to pay attention to than me. And already the chat has nothing to do with anything I ever do. Oh, the question I was going to ask.
Oh yeah,
you've got probably what you've got the locals chat to watch, the Rumble chat to watch. Do you still do the Odyssey?
No, I stopped doing Odyssey
Okay.
when I started going to Rumble exclusively, and the main reason is because it was just too much stuff to keep track of.
I mean, you've got 4 or 5 different chat streams to pay attention to. How the hell do you do that?
Well, attention deficit disorder helps. I think I'm pretty sure because I glance around all the time, so having like multiple things to look at on every monitor is just helpful. But I don't know, man. That's like a flow that I've built into as I've done this. Is just I probably looks like I read more of the chat than I do because when I happen to catch it, I tend to catch things that are like talking to me somehow. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what I miss, but I get a lot. But I try and interact enough to make it look like I read all of it because I don't want the children to misbehave. Right.
Yeah.
Like that's what you want to do. It's like, yeah.
I had an English teacher like that. My honors English, he had like a wonky eye. So he'd be like,
oh yeah,
Nick, I'm looking at you, Nick. I see you, Nick. You never cheat in his test because you just never knew which eye was looking in your direction.
Right. And see, the real trick though is to convince the chat that you're reading everything. And yet the way you do that is to make sure you spot every N word that they say and reward them for it. Right. Like that's like someone in a free state in 1842. Always on the lookout for N-words.
You get a reward if you turn them in.
It's a joke, chat.
Yeah.
You got like, there was actually, so I was in Philadelphia and they were talking about basically in 1850, I think was the Slave Reclamation Act or whatever it was, the Free Slave Act or whatever.
The Reclamation Act.
Well,
the Recycling Act.
People may not know, or they might forget, like buried within the lofty and beautiful ideals of the Constitution was this, the reality of slavery. And people do forget that the Constitution applied against a government, not against a people. So slavery is horrible as it is, makes sense within the construct of the Constitution. It is not binding on a person. It's binding on a government. But one of the most important things that allowed the slave states and the non-slave states, even early on, to get along was this provision which required a state, when it became notified of an escaped slave into the state, they had to, the receiving state had to actually organize a posse and deliver the slave back to the originating state, back to the slaveholder, right?
Yeah.
And that was a constitutional requirement that the property be returned. And the states realized something off with that was that the free states were literally paying these groups of people to go around and pick up slaves as a business. And it was an expense that the states didn't want to bear. Like, they're like, why are we paying for this thing that, like, we're not getting slave labor, like our people aren't getting it, but we're having to pay for it. And this is a big buildup to the Civil War itself. But yeah, so when the states kind of stopped doing that, there was a national law that was passed to incentivize individuals to do it themselves. And so they would be paid a reward for captured freedmen, and they would bring them back, which of course just meant they would just arrest like random black people. Be like, I'm pretty sure this guy looks like a slave, man. I don't know. Prove you're not. Right. Yes, and they would have to. And then the the really nasty, nefarious part of that, I mean, aside from all of the ugliness I just said, was that the prove you're not of that was in front of a magistrate who is going to get $5 if he ruled that you were not a slave. But he's going to get $10 if he ruled that you were.
I can see there might be some problems with that particular.
And if anybody doesn't know, like $10 in the 1850s would have been, I mean, that it's comparable to like $500 to $1,000 of like goods that you could buy. Like this huge amount of money is amazing. It's crazy.
Wow, certainly no incentives there to do bad things.
No, not at all.
Was that the first time you've been like around that historical area of the country? Because I've never been back east.
Yeah, I've never really been to the Northeast.
Was it like cool to like sort of see things like Independence Hall and whatnot? I think it'd be kind of fun to see.
It was actually I was talking about it. I thought I was gay while I was in Philadelphia. One, because of Tom Hanks and his movie about AIDS. And two, because no, I was so when Lady Rackets and I went to go explore the old city, like you're just there in this place of profound import for freedom and liberty. And the Liberty Bell is there, which I mean it's a bell. It's kind of interesting. And it wasn't the Liberty Bell that really did it. It was it's just I could bring it up. I brought it up a couple times on my show because I'm, like I said, kind of gay. But this is the one that did it. This is the, let me share it real quick. This is the one that got me. So this is St. Joseph's Roman Catholic Church, founded in 1733. In 1734. So brief backstory or little thing. I think Pennsylvania was a Quaker colony, but it's hard for us to kind of imagine today what it looked like in these colonies. But these colonies were homogenous, typically in language. They were typically homogenous in origin, almost homogenous in origin from a European country, and often they were homogenous in religion. And not only that, but they actually had state mandated religions at the time of the the signing of the Constitution of the 13 states. Only one state, which was Rhode Island, did not have a state imposed religion, because the First Amendment didn't apply to states. It only applied to the nation. And so this is in Pennsylvania, which is, I believe, heavily Quaker. And this is a Catholic church that springs up there. And the Catholics were not in Pennsylvania very much. And so this reverend is there, and the colony of Pennsylvania says, close down. You need to get out. You close your church. And this Reverend Joseph Greeton says, we are and of right ought to be free and independent of all civil authority retarding, restricting, or debarring religion. It is not toleration we claim. It is freedom we demand and will maintain. And to think about being a complete outsider who doesn't actually have like any sort of legal ground, any legal right. There was no constitution to protect him, but to just say, no, we demand this. We demand that we stay open by a matter of right because God has deemed it so. And to stand in the face of an entire colony of people, and then to have those things be kind of this bedrock principle that our nation would be built on, on this idea that no, you have to not only tolerate the other religion, you have to recognize that their right is as good as yours. Like that sign, I was just sitting there thinking, I'm like, this probably older guy, Reverend, standing up to civil authority in a place where it's like one of the first cities in the United States at the time. It wasn't the United States yet, but one of the first cities. And he just sits there and says, no, fuck off to the government. And I was like, God, that's what gets me is like, geez, how important was that, did this guy even know what he was doing mattered? Like, did he know how important it was to just say no to shutting down your church? Like, I think people don't. I think that's how history works a lot of times. It's like no one realizes that action mattered.
Yeah, and of course, neither just chat. They just got religion is retarded out of that entire thing. That's all they got out of it.
Yeah, of course. Yep. The government doesn't retard religion. We do.
There was a history lesson there, people. I'd like to get back there just to kind of see those things. And that's part of the reason why I'm excited to go to Anime Matsuri, is just to like spend a day looking at kind of historical Houston things.
Yep, that's a Matsuri's. Oh wait, no.
Well, you got to go there and like do it just at least for a couple of hours, see something.
Yeah, no, Houston's a great city. I love Houston. I was born there. And so I spent a lot of years about 10 years growing up there, and then a lot of trips back to Houston to visit family who lived there forever until I was about 33 or so, 33, 34 when my grandfather died. But we would be in Houston all the time, and there's a lot of cool stuff. You've got the Johnson Space Center down just a little bit south of Houston. You've got that's really cool. That's where Mission Control is.
Yeah,
that's where all that stuff. Like Kennedy Space Center in Florida is where they launched the space shuttle, or what used to be the space shuttle.
Yeah,
we launched shit, but Mission Control is there in Houston. And they have a bunch of cool stuff to see there. They have Seawolf Park, which has like a submarine and an old battleship you can go on. Well, not a battle. I don't think it's battleship, but a ship of war that you can go on. That's pretty neat. Oh, and then there's just a bunch of places to eat because Houston is the fattest city on the planet. And it's delicious.
Well, good. I'll just blend right in. That's what I love about going on vacation. I can buy clothes off the rack there because they just don't build Koreans my size.
True. Yeah.
I'm happy. I'm happy when I go, oh my God, I'm thin over here. It's great.
Yeah. Just go to the water park. If anybody has body image issues, just go to the water park, because there's a 99.8% chance that you're smaller than everybody else there.
People comparing harpoon scars and
oh my God,
the lifeguards trying to push them back in the deep end, things like that. So do the Augustus Gloop thing. They get stuck in the pipe and the pressure builds up and just kind of rockets them off.
Yes.
Utah has water parks too. And I think Utah still has the highest per capita fast food restaurant concentration.
Ooh. Okay. Yeah, Houston. Houston is not
Mexican food.
Well, Houston has a shitload of fast food restaurants, but the thing about Houston that I love is that it's not. It is a city of unapologetic capitalism. Like there's no zoning, and so all of the little strip malls are just full of someone taking a shot, right? Like it's someone taking a shot of at whatever. And so you'll have all of these little restaurants everywhere. Everywhere's got an independent restaurant, and a shitload of them are terrific.
Yeah.
Like they're really good, but it's just one. There's only one location ever, because it's like some small family that, yeah, my mom taught me how to cook, and then they open a shop, and it's just often mind blowing. I love that place.
I'm looking forward to just to go in there to see everybody and kind of hang around and then just eat some good food and see some shit. I'm sure there's plenty of good food. I mean, probably some good Tex-Mex there.
Yes, there is. There is. Oh yeah, the one place I've wanted to go every time I go down to Houston for Matsuri and never get over to, but maybe this year maybe we can change that, Jeff.
Let's do it.
The original Mama Ninfa's restaurant downtown, which they're famous for fajitas. They basically only have skirt steak, and it's just cooking constantly. They just have drawers and drawers full of fucking skirt steak, and they're marinating, and they just pull it out, throw it on the grill. And the fajitas I haven't had them in so long. They're so good.
Oh, I'm hungry and it's 10:30 at night. That always happens.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I'll stop talking about food. Sorry, I just woke up, so now I'm
I don't know.
starting.
Dogs are looking pretty delicious over there. This is Korea. No. Just kidding. Just kidding, dogs.
He's not kidding.
Just be careful. Oh my god.
One of
This
you
has been a
looks like
weird
some
year. Yeah.
me goring over there or whatever. I don't know how to pronounce that shit.
What's up, dudes? Anyway, this has been a really, really odd year, but it's been fun getting to know people and kind of getting to expand horizons and just shoot this shit with people about things that I find interesting, that are kind of seeing the kindred spirits. And I mean, it's your thing too. Just freaking have fun. Just go ahead and do something fun, laugh, enjoy yourself, enjoy what you're doing. And so far, I'm enjoying the hell out of this. This is just so fun.
Yeah, that's I think a lot of people lose sight of that. And I think, we all probably from time to time, like in our own capacities as streamers, lose sight of it too. But some people like never have sight of it. They never have the fun thing. And because I know there's times where I've like forgotten that why are you like I'll catch myself like, why are you doing this? Like, just remember laughing. It's like, oh yeah, I should probably try that one. Because things will get heavy on some topics or certain issues that you have to deal with in our area, right? This is how law goes in general, right? Law can be very fucking depressing. But yeah, when everybody just remembers to laugh and smile, it's crazy like how much fun everybody has. And I don't know, there was a time where I didn't know if LawTube type shit would ever remember that like, oh yeah, before all of this weird drama, remember when we were all laughing and everybody had fun? Like like everybody was having fun, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh no, nope, we can't do that. That means too many people smiling at once is a disaster.
Well, that was the thing. I mean, all of that shit went down 2 weeks after I started this streaming thing. I was on Alita's channel once and doing this, and then everybody's like, why aren't you taking sides? Why aren't you just like, I've been here 2 weeks. You think I'm gonna fucking open my mouth right now and talk to anybody about anything? No, I'm just gonna duck and cover and wait for it to blow over and then start having fun again.
Oh god, that was a disaster.
But again, I mean, even now, there's probably very few people that actually hate each other. I can't think of anybody that I know actively loathes anyone else. Just okay, people just we've decided who people work with, who we work better with, who we're not matched with, who are different kinds of people who want the different kinds of streams, and cordial. It's just I don't get it. And I mean, see the people just actively trying to stir up shit, and you think why? Just why? Why would you expend that energy just to be a shit stirrer?
Yeah, I have no idea. Like, I don't hate anybody that I can think of right now anyway. And I can get pissed off at people for a little bit, but generally speaking, like there's no, I don't have any malice towards anybody because it's a waste of time. In this world, in the streaming world, it's a fucking waste of time. It divides attention, it divides audiences, and it always takes you away from what you should be doing, which is what you said, just having fun and laughing. And
I think I got that from you and Andrew. Just flip the microphone on, start talking about things that are fun and things that are interesting and things that are exciting. I'm like, well, that's a good model to go after. Don't just have to be super serious about what's going on. And it was like, because it was kind of hard to be serious with some of the dumb shit that was getting said in court during the Amber Heard Johnny Depp thing.
Yeah.
And so that kind of contributed to it a little bit. But I mean, it took a little while to kind of find the balance between sitting there just silently during court streams and talking way too much. It took a little time to find the balance of that, what people are interested in. Okay, it's the one-liners every now and then that people want. They don't want the constant yammering, and they don't want just the shut up, we're watching it. We just want to watch it with two other faces other than law and crime.
Oh, God. Yeah, someone was doing that to me during Murdaugh. I think it was the Murdaugh trial. They're like, you need to stop talking. I'm like, just go away. Just like
my
go
God,
anywhere
how
else.
could you
like,
stop talking during that? What else are you gonna do?
So bored. So bored. Someone actually brought up something. They're correct. I did lie a little bit. I do hate Attorney Tom.
Oh well, yeah. And legal too.
Yeah. Well, legal is not a person.
True. Who's taller? Do you know between those two?
Attorney Tom is taller than legal.
Like legit.
Legitimately, yeah. Oh, dude, Devin is short.
Holy shit! Well,
like actually,
what you just?
No,
like we were talking about that with Andrew last night. How all of his shots are like angled upwards or just directly.
No, like I've seen a picture of him with Attorney Tom. He is very short.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that was the other thing we were just talking about, like with Andrew last night. How at 5'11" am I the shortest person in law too, other than Attorney Tom? How the hell is that even possible? Just statistically speaking,
it's just how it goes, man.
Yeah, I guess.
Just how it goes.
How
tall is Law and Lumber 6 feet tall?
I don't know. Probably. Why not? Everybody else is.
No, Law and Lumber is gonna be like 5'1". Take that, Rob. So. Get wrecked.
I hope so.
I don't think.
If you're here, Rob, I hope so.
I don't think the lawyer is very tall. I think that guy's short. Lead attorney was tall though.
Yeah, I always thought I'd be taller than Ian.
You're taller than Danny.
Well, yeah, true. I was talking about guys. I was just talking about people that matter. No, just kidding, Dan. You'll never listen to that. I'm just talking about guys. But I kind of realized that that's just the way it is when I found like Ian is like over 6 foot. Oh, okay, whatever.
He's over 6 feet tall.
That's what I guess. I think he's like 6'1", something like that.
Wow.
Whatever. I'll just as you always say, there's 6 foot and not 6 foot.
Right. Yeah. There's 6 feet tall and doesn't exist. That's it.
And now I'm probably like to that point in age where I'm going to be like 5'10" and a half before too long.
Yeah.
Just getting all down.
The shrinking.
Yeah. It's
dude.
happen.
So yesterday, I was Monday night. I had my show with Joe.
Yeah.
And then I had my local stream after. So I go to bed at like 5:30 in the morning, and Lady Raggets wakes me up early for me, like at 9 or something. She's like, "You sleeping?" I'm like,
yeah. Yes, as a matter of fact, I am.
She's like, "You want to do stuff?" I'm like, no, I just want to die. I'm still dying in bed for a little while. Can I sleep a little longer before I have to do anything? She goes, yeah, that's fine. And I'm like, okay. So I go back to sleep, and then I wake up, and she had started cleaning out the garage because it's now spring. And so I'm like, oh God. So like when I realized what she was doing, I was like, oh no, I may have made a critical mistake by sleeping. Because if you don't know this, but if your wife is cleaning the garage and you're not cleaning the garage, you are on the precipice of being in all of the trouble that can exist.
Yeah.
So I go out to help her, and she starts just pointing at things that need to go. We have a big dumpster right now. So I keep pointing at things that need to go in the dumpster. And I, without question, I'm just throwing things away, right? I will just be muscle, which, you can tell that God doesn't like her very much because she needed muscle. She got me. But no, I'm just like throwing away whatever needs to be thrown away. And I picked up something, and like the oldest man on the planet, I was like, oh, I tweaked my back. That's all I thought to myself. So I tweaked my back all day yesterday. Anytime I moved, I'm just like, fuck. Oh, God damn it. Just walking around in so much pain. Oh, it's terrible.
Well, just wait a few years when you make your first stretch of the day, and like you pull a muscle in your shoulder, and you're like, oh God, I'm old.
Yep.
or you yawn too wide and pull a muscle in your neck.
Or you're like Sammy Sosa or whatever and sneeze and throw your back out.
Yeah.
Can't play baseball.
Must do roids. Oh God.
Clearly I'm on a high steroid regimen, you can tell.
Yeah. Well, this whole, I'm working and you're not. Yeah, when was it? It was Monday. Monday was Labor Day here in Korea, which is this. It used to be a holiday, but it's not a holiday anymore. But everyone still gets it off, so it's just kind of like this unofficial holiday.
Cool.
But we've never gotten it off. This is the first year that the boss said, "Well, the paralegals and the staff, you guys stay home today." But the lawyers in the firm, you can choose whether or not to come into the office today. So just fucking say, come to work. Yes.
Yeah.
It's like, when the managing partner says, you all can decide, use your discretion whether or not you want to come into work tomorrow. I think that just means come to work. Just
Yeah. Yeah. You make the choice. Well, thanks. Okay. I know what to choose, I guess. Will you just tell me? So it's not as depressing, but that's that demoralization that they have to beat into you, right?
Yeah.
Like, no, you chose this. I didn't. I didn't. You gave me a Kafkaesque choice. I had no.
But anyway, I mean, he was decent. Took us out for a good lunch, and then we had a big dinner and some beers. I'm not a beer drinker, but there was like some sake and stuff there. When did you start drinking? You started drinking late too.
Well, I drank a little bit in college. But not a ton. And I didn't drink anything good. Yeah, enthusiastically drinking. I think I was 34, 35 years old, maybe 36, somewhere in there where I really
so you're
started
still like relatively new to the game.
Yeah, but I'm trying to make up for it.
Yeah, that's what you got to do.
But
what was it that started? When you say, hey,
I said lawyers drink whiskey, I'm pretty sure. That's it. That's literally it. Like, lawyers drink whiskey, I'm pretty sure. I'm gonna buy a bottle of whiskey, and that started. I bought an Oakentoshan American Oak. I hated it. That's my first bottle of whiskey. Yeah, I did not like it at all.
That's an interesting place to start.
Well, yeah, it had a weird name, so I grabbed it, and I was like, "This is disgusting." And then my second bottle, I think, was a Lagavulin 16. Which
there you go. I mean, well, you're not a peat head either, though.
I'm not a peat head, but I like peat a lot. I really like. I do. I love the peaty scotches. As long as they have good flavor. Like, I like Portiskeag. That's a great one. Lagavulin. I like Bowmore 15 Darkest. God, that's a good bottle.
That's King Charles III's favorite whiskey as well.
Bowmore
15.
There you go.
Yeah,
perfect.
So there you go. You're in good company.
I guess.
Queen Elizabeth was Naked Grouse, I believe. That was her fave.
Oh, I don't think I've ever had Naked Grouse.
Don't.
Doesn't sound good.
Not. It's not bad, but it's not good either. Great successes. Oh no, is Rekieta ill? What's up with the drinking of water? Dude, it's 8:50 in the morning where he's at.
I need to hydrate, homie. I am.
As for me, I think I'm going to crack open the Kilhoman Mahir Bay.
There you go. That's got a little peat to it.
It does.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I want to do for vacation next year is take a trip and spend 5-6 days on Isla and go to all the Isla distilleries.
That would be fun as hell, man. Oh my!
And then get up north to the Glenmorangie. Get up to the Glenmorangie distillery because that's where my whiskey journey started. Was with Glenmorangie.
I'll join you for a drink.
Oh God! Well, good morning, Nick. How are you?
I have to get through this bottle because I bought it hoping it would be better than it is. This is a 45-year Canadian Club.
I was talking about that the other day with a Canadian friend who was saying that is the best whiskey on planet Earth.
It's not.
I said, well, it's Canadian Club to start with. But
yeah. Yeah, you can age it as long as you want. It's still Canadian Club.
And how much did a 45-year-old bottle of Canadian Club cost you?
Okay, what would you think it would cost?
I have no idea, but I know anything else in the 45-year range would be $5, $6, $7, up to $10,000.
Not even nowhere near.
That's why I'm curious because I know it can't be anywhere close to that.
This was 330.
Yeah. That's the same price as an 18-year-old Elijah Craig bourbon.
You know what's better than Canadian Club that costs less?
Oh, what?
Yeah, most of it. Those two tall things back there, Kentucky Owl last batch finished rye, $300 a piece. Those are infinitely better than this Canadian Club whiskey.
There's one Kentucky Owl that just came to Korea. I can't remember what bottle it was. It wasn't that.
Well, they have the Kentucky Owl bourbon, which is also $300 a bottle in the States. I would not buy it. I would not recommend it. Sorry. I've had batch 10 and batch 11.
It's the Wise Man.
The Wise Man. Oh, wait.
The Wise Man.
Do I have that? This one?
No, it is.
This is the Takumi edition, which is
this one here.
Oh, I've never seen that.
The Wise Man. And it in here down in Korea, it is about, that'd be about $80, $85 a bottle.
Okay. This is so they started doing these partnership ones. This one is with the Japanese distillery, and this one, I think this one's like $135, and they have another one with an Irish distillery that's like $135. Those are really good. The Kentucky Owl confiscated bourbon is that's like $125-ish. That's a good bourbon. But the $300 one is overpriced. The $300 rye is not overpriced. It is actually, I mean, if I ever see a bottle of it, I buy it.
For that, I'd get a Whistle Pig Boss Hog or something for that one.
I wouldn't. Legitimately, the last batch, Kentucky Owl last batch rye is my single favorite bottle to acquire. It is so damn good. And it's like, the way I describe it is an interactive whiskey. Everywhere it touches in your mouth kind of lights up and tingles. It's really high proof. Well, it's like 60.
Yeah.
It's like 60%. But it's very, very smooth. It has great flavor. And yeah, it's like, as it rolls around in your mouth, it's like just followed by tingling as your nerves are dying, which is awesome.
Oh, so that's kind of how I think of the Willett Family Reserve rye.
See, I haven't had that.
$220 a bottle, and it's Christmas in a bottle. It just tastes like fruitcake, molasses, and nutmeg, and just that amazing rye kind of bready. Oh, so good. Do you know? Wait a minute. What have I done here? Do you know Richard Patterson? He's the master distiller for Dalmore.
Oh, no.
For Mackay and White. They call him the Nose, ironically enough. So his grandfather, his father, and he have been the master distiller for 3 generations for Bowmore and Mackay and White and whatnot.
Sure.
He does some great stuff. I just thought in honor of you being here, we would watch 1 or 2 of his how to drink whiskey things.
Oh, I have seen this guy. Yeah, he's great. Mackay and White is good. That's a good. Someone sent me a bottle a long time ago. They're like, dude, don't ever get Johnny Walker Blue again. The same price, and it's way better.
Well, see, and I'll say Glenmorangie 18. It's half price and better. If you want heaven, get a Glenmorangie Signet.
Glen 18 good stuff.
People ask, how to drink whiskey, and I promised we would talk a little bit about whiskey. This is a good little how to drink whiskey here by How to Drink Whiskey Like a Sir by the 3rd generation master distiller. I like this guy.
Yeah, he's great.
So this is how y'all drink.
So how do you
whiskey.
taste blended Scotch whiskey? First of all, you need to use a glass, not just any glass, a Capita nosing glass. You'll see from the shape of this one, it is quite different from this one.
Also, the Glencairn glass, which you're using and whatnot, he designed it. He worked with Glencairn Company and helped design the glass.
Yep.
Because what you want to do, unlike this shape, you want to get into the whiskey to assess it. So what you must do is take the bottle, pour it into the glass, swirl it around, as I said to you before, throw it out.
Not going to do that.
There's perhaps on the lip of the glass. Swirl it around, bring it up and say, hello. Then you go back to it. How are you? And then go back to it. Quite well. Thank you very much. Now remember, get into it. Don't go like this. None of this stuff. You want to get right into it to make sure that you're actually examining every part of that whiskey. How do you taste it? Don't knock it back like a cowboy. Take the water, but don't just pick up a jug like this. What you
I don't
need
like the
to
water,
do is to
personally.
pick up a jug with your finger in the water. Why? Because you want to test it. Why do you want to test it? Because many barmen, unfortunately, stick their jug under a hot tap by mistake, and therefore, this is what ruins whiskey. 6 times I've now ruined my whiskey. 6 times. Twice in America, once in France, once in Stockholm, and twice in England. So
6 times.
You take the still water, you put it into the whiskey, reduce it down to 35% alcohol. 35% alcohol is the ideal strength for really bringing out the whiskey in the palate. Put in the mouth.
No way. No, don't ever dilute it.
And then let it go down. Absolutely fantastic. If in fact I hadn't added sufficient water, what would happen? This is what would
enjoy it.
Your face would start grimacing. It would start changing because it was affecting the taste buds, anesthetizing them. So all you need is a little water. When I have a presentation, finish at night, want to relax, go into the bar, there's nothing more wonderful than the sound of whiskey being poured by the barman into a glass. And just when I'm about to take the glass from him to enjoy my whiskey, suddenly I hear this other noise. This other noise of not just one or 2 bits of ice, but many bits. This is now Scotch on the rocks. This is taking my whiskey, ruining it with all this ice. In the olden days, when there was no ice, the Scots had to improvise. So what did? They went to the riverbeds. They took the cold rocks that had been chilled by the mountain snows. They put that into the whiskey, and that chilled it. And that's why we call it Scotch on the rocks. All I'm saying to you is this. If you're ever in a bar and you want to try and enjoy your whiskey this way, don't take it. Take hold of the barman and show him what it's all about. Yeah, chuck it away. You don't need
it. I like him a lot. He's got a great book called The Nose. The Nose Knows, I think is what it's called, where he just talks about his stories of going into the distillery, into the warehouses when he's like 8 years old and just smelling all of the odors in the air and just being raised up in whiskey. Because that's what I started drinking probably about 32 myself. Before that, it was pretty because I was going to go to hell because that's what bad Mormons do when they start drinking. They go to hell,
right?
And then at some point, I just realized, if I'm going to hell for enjoying a good glass of whiskey and just cigar, I was there for a lot more serious reasons, a lot longer ago than now.
Long time ago. Like, whoo! Glad you didn't see the rest of my rap sheet. I'd be sent to the extra hell.
That was always me and my late mother's deals. Rest in peace, Mom. Is like, okay, whoever gets there first is gonna save a seat by the fire for the other one. Yeah. I think Steve needs to come to Anime Matsuri so we can really get him into the taste of whiskey.
When I go down to Florida, I'm gonna see if I can help him out. He's asking for one suggestion, not more than $100, and he'll buy it next time.
Basil Hayden is just a default.
No. I mean, Angel's Envy Finished Rye is the $100 bottle I recommend every time.
But I don't know if I'd say that for someone who really want to get into it.
Well, yeah, maybe not. Maybe that's not the best starter bottle. It's just so damn good.
It is. I just, anyone that says what's a good first whiskey to get in, I just hands down say Basil Hayden's because it's so inoffensive. It's so smooth. It's just so caramelly and just it's.
I used to say Lagavulin 16 to weed out the weak.
Because you hate everybody.
Yep. If you don't like this, you shouldn't drink whiskey anyway. And then
I was giving tasting notes, and people were confused by, oh no, this is the most amazing tire fire iodine old people smell. What?
And then for a while, I was recommending. There was a distiller's edition of Dalwhinnie, which was great, but Dalwhinnie 15 is a very, as far as scotches go, Dalwhinnie is. I think it's a really good scotch to kind of cut your teeth on because it's not super scotchy, it's not super peaty, but it's got a little bit of it's got a little heat to it, and it's but it's a very well balanced scotch. It's a good one. I like
that's my
Dalwhinnie a lot.
airplane free scotch. Yeah, that's what I drink on the airplanes.
That's still, I think, the most expensive bottle I ever bought was a Dalwhinnie 25 year. Was $560 a bottle, and I bought it for Lady Racket's birthday in 2019, and we drank it on stream. It was a disaster to buy because so we were at my parents' house in the Twin Cities, and we were at the liquor store, which is like their house is there's a man-made lake with some houses around it, you know, and their house is on one side of the lake and the liquor store is on the other. It's not huge. Going around the lake is like a mile or something.
Yeah,
not even. No, yeah, it's a little over. Sorry, going around the lake is like a 1.4 miles or something. So we get in the car. It's like 10 minutes to closing time, and we get over to the liquor store. We're browsing through, and she picks out a couple things, and I'm like, "Let's get this for your birthday. This is this really nice. I love Dalwhinnie. This is like a 25-year version. It's a little expensive. It'll be fun." So we go up to the front, and the guy's like, "Do you have your IDs?" I'm like, "Well, I have mine." She didn't have hers. He goes, "Yeah, I can't sell you that without her ID."
Oh yeah.
Oh, what? He's like, "Yeah, I can't sell you that." And she's like, "I could just go in the car or whatever." And he's like, "No, now that I know that he's gonna buy it,
third party purchase." Yeah.
Yeah, I have to. And it's like, dude, she has 5 children. Like, what the fuck do you is this the common thing for like someone buying liquor for a minor? What they're doing is they're buying a 25-year-old scotch, like the
16-year-old punk.
Like that, is that the normal purchase? It's not like a $5 bottle of Mad Dog, buddy. What are we doing here? So we had to, I'm like, "Are you serious?" I'm like, "We could go get her ID, but man, you guys are about to close, and I need this liquor for this show," because I had a show that night. And so we had like get in the car, floor it back to my parents' house, and I had to get her ID because I couldn't just come back alone, right? I had to go get it. So had to go get her ID and drive back. And we got there right before they closed. He's like, "Well, I guess." I'm like, "Yeah, she's like 34, you idiot." God, I'm so no. She would have been 35. It's a 35-year-old woman who's had 5 kids.
Yeah.
And then my dumb ass sitting there. And you're like, "Well, I don't know if you," it's like, we are not young, man. We're not that old, but we are not young.
Utah started doing that now. You want to go into any bar, you want to buy anything, you just show your ID. Even if you're clearly over 100 years old in a wheelchair, show us your ID. It could be a Tom Cruise Mission Impossible ruse.
Oh man,
it's annoying, but I worked at a convenience store for about 3 weeks once, and you can always tell whenever you'd ask the girls for their ID, you'd be like, "Oh, gee, oh, here I am. Thank you so much." It's got to be like, "Face, motherfucker! Tell time to go over 21." It would be like the total different reaction.
Yeah,
but that'd be annoying if you can't buy your 35-year-old wife an amazing bottle of whiskey.
What the hell are you guys doing? We were at the Make-A-Wish ball on Saturday, the Make-A-Wish, Minnesota, and they have an open bar at the ball every year. And so we were getting drinks, and she always just orders, she just goes up to the bar and asks for something fruity and strong, which is probably why she likes me anyway. But
a little fruity and strong. Yeah.
Right. So she goes up.
Long Island iced tea.
No, they didn't do that. Actually, it was a shot of Malibu and then pineapple juice and a tiny bit of grenadine. It was like the least creative thing I've ever seen.
It's like an almost pina colada.
Yeah, it was weird. But the lady cards her. which we've never been. I mean, this is a charity event. We've never been carded at a charity. Like I would go up and order gin neat at some of these things because I get depressed from the kids' stories. And look, there's some really good gins to drink neat, but not at an event like this. At an event like that, you have like two gin. You have like New Amsterdam and Bombay Sapphire. Like that's it. So you're just drinking garbage. But yeah, so but she gets carded and we're like, what the hell? And this lady stares at her ID for like a minute straight and then turns it over and examines the back for like another minute. And we're like, really? Like, are you serious?
It's like, do you want to see my driver's license or my Amex Black card? Which one do you want to see?
It's like, oh my God. It was ugh. Ugh.
And maybe they thought she'd be flattered, like the convenience store people buying a 3.2 beer on a Saturday night.
I don't think this lady was looking to flatter Lady Raggets.
Oh no, that's too bad.
I mean, that's happened, but not with this one.
Got to clear off a couple of these super chats here. People have been waiting patiently for my.
You got a couple big ones too.
Voodoo Berry, Voodoo Berry's happy channelversary. Glad to have found you through Nick's stream. Don't cross the streams though. Just never cross the streams.
Never cross the streams.
When you guys were making morgue jokes about Spiegel, I remember the morgue jokes. I remember lots of Spiegel jokes, but morgue jokes would be appropriate. Also, you were the only one streaming at the time.
Nice. It's the best way to get there.
Right. Palmyra Productions, thank you so much for becoming a new member of, I believe it was the Clean and Sober crew. Thank you. Palmyra Productions. I can remember when it was a few lonely viewers and Jeff at 150 subscribers. Now look at you. Next thing you know, you're going to be taking over the Pope. Yeah, I doubt it. I'm in YouTube hell now where now you grew a little too fast. Now it's a time of testing for you.
Yeah, it's fun. That's the best thing.
Like whenever you get to like certain milestones, because I know like Joe and Andrew have been trying to get the last few thousand to 100,000 for a million years now. I got to 36,025, and then it immediately, just within an hour or two, chopped about 30 subscribers, and then you gain 20, you lose 20, you gain 20, you lose 25. It's just been doing this. I've just been flatlining for a while. So hey, by the way, if you haven't subscribed, just do it. Get me through the hard time, through the lean years of YouTube.
Help Jeff out, guys. He's great.
But still, 36,000-ish in a year is not a damn bad number. So
not bad at all, man. Fantastic.
Dragon's Treasure throwing some more money at me. Real quick, can someone explain the South Carolina or SC Chevron thing? Every article I read is making it hard to understand what's going on with that. I have no idea what that means.
Chevron. It's the Chevron case, which is a very important case. So very briefly, we'll do this in the most normal way possible rather than the lawyerly way. There's this doctrine that is applied by the courts called Chevron deference. And that is when a federal agency, if there is any ambiguity in the statute that created the agency is given deference by the court in their rulemaking authority in how they define terms. So the best, most obvious example for most people in this sort of crowd know is guns. The ATF has defined a firearm to mean like a lower receiver is a firearm, right? Which doesn't make any sense because a lower receiver on its own cannot actually fire a gun. And in the
Alec Baldwin could make it do it.
No, the gun will fire itself, Jeff. The recent case, CRS Arms, the YouTuber, and then another guy, they made these business cards that have like a drawing of something called an auto sear on them. And that drawing was determined to be not just a firearm by the ATF, but it was determined to be a machine gun in and of itself. It's a drawing that is completely inoperable and the size of a business card, but it is a machine gun according to them. And Chevron deference is where the court says the administrative agency has expertise in this area and they can define ambiguous terms in the way that they choose, we will defer to their expertise on it. So
yeah, the ATF says that's a gun. Well, why? Because we said so. It's your father.
Literally, yes.
Why can't I do this? Because I said so. Why? Because as long as you live under my roof, you live by our rules. It's a gun.
So
lovely.
The overturning of Chevron would require the agencies to follow the law that is written, not the law that they make up later, which is what we should all want. It's been in since I think 1980.
I don't want any goddamn laws about me and my guns. Well, of course, I don't have guns because I live in Korea where they have too many laws.
Right. But Chevron's importantly not just about guns, right?
Yeah, it's not anything.
It's
anything governmental.
Yeah, the EPA was established under the Clean Air and Water Act. And it really just tasks an administrative agency with keeping air and water clean. Well, what is clean? Right? That's a pretty damn ambiguous term. Right. And so each administration has their own vision of what that is, and it gives huge leeway for each administration to go one way or another with this. What Congress should have to do to make the bill work is to pass a law that says the EPA is tasked with getting air to this certain scientific standard of purity and water with this certain scientific standard of purity. And if there are any sort of regulatory attempts that they make at doing things, should have to show how they're going to do that specifically. That's what it should be, because it's harder to pass, because it's easier to debate, like, well, is that clean or is that not clean? Is this a waste? Is this a pipe dream? Is this something that can even be achieved? You can debate on those things. And then the other thing is, once it is passed and there is a clear goal and vision, it gives the executive branch less autonomy in deciding how far they want to go with stuff, which is actually a good thing. Because if things are being passed by the representatives of the people, the presumption is that the people want that. I know that's not entirely true, but that's the presumption. And so therefore we should be working towards an actual achievable, measurable goal. And if we're, it prevents bullshit from being, it helps us challenge bullshit in court, because if there's a clear target and this thing can be shown to not be going towards the target, then we can say that this is not actually within the purview of the department. So there you go. Chevron deference is really it's a scary doctrine that has allowed way too much of the fourth branch of government to exist.
Yeah.
Hey, Attorney Tom. Hey, you know what? Fuck you, Tom. Fuck you right in your short fucking ears or whatever. I stood up for you. And when I stand up for you, I can't see you anymore. So it's hard because I have to remember where you are. But I said you're taller than Devin.
Hey, Tom. We were just talking about you. Don't go back. But no, we were talking about how you're demonstrably taller than Legal Eagle.
Yep.
So there you go. We're on Team Tom. Nick likes to get stepped on. Well, Nick, rebuttal.
I mean, who doesn't? What, rebuttal? Do I need to go to the? Do we need to go to the tape? I'll show you here. I'll pull it up.
All right.
Give me just a second. See, I can show everybody why they should come to Anime Matsuri, because everybody should get stepped on a little bit. Where is it? Almost there. Almost at Matsuri. Oh shit! No, that's not. Damn it! I can never find this picture. I don't have the picture of me getting stepped. I just have the picture of me stepping on what's his face? Lofty Pixels. Here, let's see. Nick Rekieta stepped on.
While you're doing that, I'll get through a couple of the super chats here. Nick for Nashville, I got you Kentucky Owl Batch 2, Batch 3, and Batch 4, as well as some more Blue Nun Rock. Come on, share the love.
Holy shit.
Give him Batch 2 and Batch 3, and I'll even give him the Blue Nun, but bring the Batch 4 to Anime Matsuri and give it to me.
Oh, we can do this one. This isn't me getting stepped on, but this is this is our friend. This is our friend Mindset getting stepped on by Shrimp Faye. I like how he covers his penis.
Like she's gonna jam those heels in there.
No, I was getting stepped on by 4 women at the same time.
Yeah.
And one of them was Lady Rackets. Before anybody comes up with any problems, she's always involved in me getting stepped on.
Natalie McLennan heading to the old Mulligan's in Logan, Jeff. Mulligan's is closed decades ago, I believe, Natalie, but now it's actually open to Logan's first upscale cocktail bar. Well, any cocktail bar in Logan, Utah is upscale. But yeah, it's right there in Mulligan's on Center Street. I can't remember what it's called. It's like Stave and something or other, but got a pretentious name. But I mean, hey, it's Logan, Utah. They finally got a cocktail bar in 2022. So hey, give them that. Flux, I'm trying to convince Mrs. Flux to go to Houston. If not, I'm leaving her at the house and going alone. Lamau, do it. Flux, you got to come. I mean, you have to join us. I don't care if you come, but just join us in Houston.
If you join us, you will come.
If you build it, anyway. At Matsuri says the Dragon's Treasure, I will find you both and I will pick you up on my shoulder. My reasons are my own. I will not ask for consent. Well, in Texas, we can just shoot you.
Asking for consent is a coward's game.
Exactly. Les Caramel, thank you so much, Les Caramel. Thank you. Thank you for the very generous super chat. Happy anniversary, stud. Hey, Nick. I know who she's talking about. On a road trip to Moab, Utah at the moment, one of my best friends was struck and killed by lightning in Moab. Weirdly, at Dead Horse Point, surrounded by 7 heart surgeons. How odd was that? So if you're gonna, and it was weird. He was on his way to that was his final bike ride through Zion's in that area before entering the Catholic seminary to become a priest. I guess that was God's way of saying you're done. You get hit by lightning with 7 heart surgeons around you before you go into the priesthood. It's like, I think we're just going to call you home. That's your time. Heading to Salt Lake City area, and we're thinking of staying in or around Logan. Any recommendations for where to stay or eat there overnight? Like there's a
somewhere
Holiday
else.
Inn. Yeah, there's a Holiday Inn. I think there's one of the Marriott lower end hotels. Where to eat? Mandarin Garden restaurant is a great place. You got to get their lunch. Guaranteed no cats. Mandarin Garden's a great place for lunch in Logan.
You know what? I bet there's a banger Airbnb though.
I bet there is.
Like legitimately. Dude, I started staying in a couple Airbnbs. I typically will stay in hotels because I like all the amenities. But man, when
I like the Airbnb, so you can do your own cooking. It feels like home. I can't sleep well in hotels, but
yeah, that's the thing. Especially if you're in a small town or a small town, not a giant city, and there aren't great hotel selections. Look up Airbnbs because sometimes there are some real sleepers that are fucking fantastic. And
there probably would be some nice ones in Logan.
Yeah,
near the mountains.
Like you said, the beds are generally really nice. The only thing, I mean, some Airbnb hosts are kind of anal about stuff, but generally speaking, like the ones I've been to they're nice places. The stuff, like the people are incentivized to make their Airbnb appealing. Like that, it's a cool free market sort of system. Whereas a hotel, it's like, well, I'm going to go stay at the Hilton offshoot that exists here because
cookie
that's
cutter hotel.
But man, yeah, I would check it out. I stayed.
Oh wow, your locals is going to hell.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh no, but yeah, that's a good idea. Check out an Airbnb. I'm sure there's probably some good ones. Hey, we just got an In-N-Out burger last summer while I was there, so yay for that. Kyle Bogue, thank you. Is this degenerate drinking at 8 a.m.? No, 9 a.m. for him now. Also ordering my own cam. Mike, I think I'm going to try out my own channel.
No, it's like 11:30 p.m., right?
Yeah, it's 11:30 p.m. for me. Yeah, welcome to Korea time.
I'm in Korea with Jeff. Leave me alone.
Absolutely. You'll probably suck at it, but whatever. Hey, you won't know until you try it. Just do it. Have a little enthusiasm. Have a little bit of joy and have a little bit of passion for what you're doing, and you probably won't suck. Atlas Knife and Tool, just a humble anvil salesman here requesting a knife check. Because we're men, dumbass. We always have a knife handy. Seriously, you're asking two guys whether they have pocket knives, please.
Gotta have a knife.
Is this a thing like women can't understand? Why like just men are always have a knife with them, or is that like a generally accepted thing now?
That's one thing I like about being out at any family event with Lady Rackets is like if anybody needs anything, there's like a guy, not only like a knife, there's like several toolkits around.
Yeah, well, there's the guy that has like the 87-piece, Leatherman tool in his pocket somewhere.
We're out in the country, so there's like a tool for every occasion. Like there's like the one guy who's like the car guy. There's like another guy who's like the carpenter guy. And they just have, like, hold on, let me go to my truck. There's whatever you need is within reach.
It's there. Red Chief, $5 just because. Well, thank you for that. I appreciate just because things. Tom Grawl, Nick, I will bring you a wise man here. It is $50. Well, there you go. Then I'm surprised it's that cheap because Korea has a 162% sin.
Tom Grawl's a damn hero. That guy's great.
I get. Oh, chat. Come on, locals. I feel dirty looking at that. Wow. Mike Sullivan. If you guys aren't on locals, you should not be.
If you have a soul left, don't join locals. So you should probably join locals because I know none of you do.
In college, Nick drank enough Bud Light to be a male cheerleader.
Yeah.
There you go. Don't get the fireball.
Rick Nikita, I hate you. I hate you. I'm gonna uppercut you in your man pussy.
I like cinnamon flavoring, and I liked when Fireball first came out. Then I drank an entire bottle in one night. Now I can't even look at a bottle.
I hate it.
Tank Rat,
Fireball,
bringing the heat with the Hyundai. Nothing better than being in a Muslim country at work and turn on the Law Rec stream on speaker, and right there is a video of how to drink whiskey. Lamau, no issues here. Drinking is allowed. It's just not at work. Yeah, my brother lived in Abu Dhabi, and he's like, well, at least we can go to the foreigner store. And then he moved to Saudi Arabia, and he's like, geez, bathtub gin at the risk of imprisonment for life.
Oh, God.
But thank you so much for that. We'll definitely do a little bit of blocking here, locals, just for a minute so I can concentrate. Thank you so much, Tank Rat. Deeply appreciated. Welcome. Glad to have you here as always. Cheers.
I've been I got this. I got the Starburst all pink edition. They're all pink Starburst.
Oh wow. Well, that's the only Starburst. Occasionally a lemon is acceptable, but yeah.
I kind of like cycling through the flavors, but right now I'm really enjoying this.
Eagle Rare, if you can find it. Yeah, Eagle Rare is a decent deal. It's allocated in a lot of places, but do you know Eagle Rare is $120 a bottle here.
Wow.
Isn't that the stupidest thing you've ever heard?
That's a bit ridiculous.
That's a $39 bottle at best in the States. Yeah, it's $120 here. El President Camacho, Missouri Ridge Distillery and Brewery is small family owned in Branson, Missouri, and its awards are not a meme. Better than high dollar stuff, definitely worth a try. I will look out for it. I'm always looking good. What I'm going to bring to Anime Matsuri is a bottle of Korean. There's the first Korean single malt whiskey that was made. I have batch one, first hot off the presses. So it'll be the sample.
Wow.
It's the first batch of the first single malt Korean whiskey that came off the line.
I have to say something. TXGHO is 45 minutes behind. And they said catching up, still 45 minutes behind. Did Rick, my name is Nick, but thank you, ever lament the demise of Astroworld theme park? You know what? Fuck you. Because I wasn't sad. Now I am. And now I am. Astroworld was the Six Flags theme park in Houston. And it closed because the land is fucking extremely valuable. And a bunch of gang members made it basically, you didn't want to go to Astroworld. Astroworld is where I met Freddy Krueger.
Like the real one, probably.
The real one.
Sounds
Robert
like
Englund.
Yeah. Oh,
So-
I just meant like the actual Freddy Krueger. Oh,
they
Reverend
used to
England's
do
there.
they used to do this Fright Night, right, for October, and they had a haunted house, and they actually got fucking Robert Englund to be Freddy Krueger in the haunted house.
That's pretty cool.
And so we're going through. I was a little kid, man. I was tiny, and I was terrified because they had these like skeleton ghost things that creep me out because I was a kid, and kids are retarded. But my older sibling was with us, and my parents, and we were in the back of the group. We go into the Freddy Krueger room. He does this thing, like I remember how it looks, like he's very like dramatic, like and he's like running around with his glove or whatever. And we're the last group, or we're the last people to leave the room. And he had actually come out from behind his little area, and he came up and he put his hand on my sister's shoulder.
I would shit myself.
And he says, "Are you scared of the dark, little girl?" And she like leaps onto my mom, terrified,
I
right?
am now.
And he's like, "I am so sorry. I am so like Freddy Krueger is apologizing to my mother because he wasn't trying to scare her. Like he kind of forgot that he was in his costume for a second. He was genuinely asking like if she was scared, and she's like, "Ah!" So it was like, wow. But yeah.
I think I started my son. I started him watching Walking Dead too young. I don't think like 6 is probably the best time to do that. He was never scared of the dark until he started doing that.
Yeah.
And finally, I said, I've got to cure him of this. I think he was 14. He was still uncomfortable in the dark. He didn't like horror movies. He didn't like horror movies. He didn't like the dark. So sit down. We're watching Evil Dead 2.
Yeah.
And the whole scene in the cabin where it's just this gout of blood for like 10 minutes. He was scared, terrified, and by the end he was laughing. And now he's like, okay, I get it. I love horror films now. I decided and made him watch Evil Dead 2.
Evil
A
Dead
couple
2's
more of
good.
these.
The other thing you could
Right.
have done is just put him in a coffin.
Yeah, could have done that.
Thrown sand on top of it just to make it sound like he was being buried alive. God, that'd be terrifying. Oh,
like what was that movie? Serpent and the Rainbow. What a great film that was.
Holy shit. There aren't many people I know who can call back to Serpent and the Rainbow.
Well, that's one of my favorite movies. Except for the part where they nail his testicle to the chair. That was kind of grim.
I've got that DVD sitting on my shelf somewhere. I haven't watched it in probably 15 years at least.
That's a great movie, though.
No, that scene in Kill Bill 2, when they nail her into the box, right, and drop her down, and they're dumping the dirt on. Tarantino does such a good job of making you feel stuffed in and closed and cramped in that box with her. It is so uncomfortable being in there with Uma Thurman. You're just like, oh, this is gross.
I don't know. I'd like to be in a enclosed in dark space with the Uma Thurman. That'd be kind of nice. Just saying.
Yeah.
But weird fact for chat, fun fact of the day: Edgar Allan Poe was so afraid of being buried alive that he was buried with a hole attached to a string and a bell. So he's dead. So I mean, I don't know why they listen to that stuff. Liquor is sold in select stores, says Tank Rat. Bars and the airport duty free. Interesting note is the UAE allows double the liquor into the country compared to the US. Good for them. Korea allows you 1 liter. The most I've ever dared smuggle in was 8 liters. Man, whatever. Monkey 47. That is actually good gin. Is the best sipping gin I've ever had. The best sip. My favorite gin, hands down, is Bruichladdich gin, the Botanist.
Oh, I didn't know Bruichladdich had a gin.
Yes, it's so crisp and clean. I drink it straight.
I'll try and find it. My favorite gin is Heyman's Old Tom Gin. From London. It's not expensive. I mean, we're talking maybe $30 a bottle. Maybe. It is delicious. It's the Old Tom style of gin that they did back in like the 1400s. Really good. And then my runner-up is Fid Street Gin, which is, I think, it's made by a Maui distillery, Maui, Hawaii, and there aren't many places stateside that sell it, but if you can ever find it, it's Fid Street, F-I-D, Fid Street Gin is fucking delicious. And yeah, if you're in Hawaii, I buy bottles and bottles of it and bring them back.
I have a very limited gin experience. I mean, it started off with just some random rot gut, and then it's like, ooh, Bombay Sapphire. This is the shit. This is so good. And I drank so much of it at one point, I just said, I taste like I'm drinking juniper sap.
Yeah.
And then I found Hendrix, and I'm like, well, Hendrix is really, really good. And then I met the botanist, and I'm like, this is enough. This is fine for me.
I'll have to check it out. I would like to try it. I like a good
botanist.
If it's a fragrant and floral gin that has like some, more than just juniper taste, it's really good. They can be really, really good.
Flux says NASA is lying. The astronauts aren't really in space. They're on the set using wires and green screens.
That's true.
Of course they are. White.
But the green screen is there in Houston. That's what I'm saying.
It is. Or wherever Scorsese is. Was it Scorsese that was supposed to have done the moon landings?
No, it was Kubrick.
Kubrick, that's right, yeah. White Alakazam got a ticket for running a stop sign. I didn't. I stopped. He said I blew right through it. Then said I might have slowed down but didn't stop, trying to get the dash cam footage so I can fight it in June. Blessings from the Pope.
May all of your discovery be answered, or may it be unanswered because they deleted it.
And ladies and gentlemen, this is why every car you own should have at least a forward-facing and rear-facing camera. Side-facing cameras are optional, but you should always have dash cams. Just go watch any dash cam video on YouTube, and you'll see why you need one. Evidence.
Yeah, because in the funny thing is, like, why they became so popular is over in Eastern Europe. Insurance scams are such a problem. People will pretend to get hit by the car, and then
that's a huge thing in Korea too. It was, anyway.
They'll go after your insurance. So they just started putting dash cams on every fucking vehicle to prove these people wrong. In the US, it's like no cars come with dash cams at all. Like it's not a thing. You have to install them yourself. I'm trying to get them.
Do you get an insurance break for doing it?
I don't know.
Here in Korea, it's like you get a 10% discount on your insurance for having a cam.
If the insurance company gives me a discount on anything, I don't tell them if I do it. I don't want their discount. Fuck you. Like they have in the US, they have the good driver discount where you can have the insurance company install a black box in your car. And like,
they link it to your app here in Korea. Just like, I'm no, thanks.
You do not need to know how fast I'm driving, buddy.
And the ones I do, that you get a 10% for the cam. You also get a percentage off how much you use the car. If you use it under a certain number of miles or kilometers here, obviously, then you get a 5% off, 10% off, 20% off. So that's just kind of it's benign. I wonder what the weather's like in South Korea. Ask Lisa. It's pretty darn good. It's pretty similar. About 55 degrees, kind of mostly cloudy. Probably going to rain a little bit. Beautiful spring weather. If you live in America, just go anywhere on the Colorado Plateau and you will find wonder and awe. Absolutely. Anywhere in I'm a Western guy, so anywhere in Utah, Wyoming, Colorado, some parts of Arizona and New Mexico, but just Utah, Wyoming, Colorado, God's country. Corn Pop, thank you so much for the super sticker. And the Eva Blink, since member chats don't get read, day drinking. Oh, member chats do get read. That's what I'm going to do right now real quick because there's not that many of them. Brad Best, a clean and sober for 7 months. Hail my 2 favorite YouTubers. Found vices during JD trial on Nick and Nick on FNT last year. I watch all your vids. Keep up the great work. An American Dreamer, 2 months of the clean and sober. You both fill the void with laughter. Appreciate. Oh. And Palmyra Productions, just welcome to the clean and sober crew, the newest member. And now the newest member, crafty Florida lady member for 4 months of the clean and sober. Just curious, do the pups understand English and Korean? English bulldogs are dumb and don't listen. They probably understand everything, but most dogs are trained to follow commands blindly, and that's why they're smart, because they don't think for themselves. English bulldogs are clever. It's like, oh, hey, come here. And they'll look at you like, well, I'm comfortable here. Why the fuck should I go to you? I don't see anything in your hand. And as soon as you go treat, then they'll come running to you. So yeah, they probably understand everything, but they just don't listen to it. And Yoda, wherever Yoda went, Yoda's stupid. So Yoda doesn't even know Yoda's own name because Just kind of dumb and helpless. All right. And finally, given our member for 7 months clean and sober, need to be here in another year. Well, I hope I am, because I'm kind of having fun.
Cedar Rose sent you a sticker. By the way, Cedar Rose has the best elbow on the internet.
That's different.
Just saying. Just saying. Best elbow.
I don't know how to respond to that, but okay. Cedar Rose, thank you so much for the super sticker and the awesome elbow, I guess. Oh, and we also had we had a gifted membership. Where'd the gifted member? I forgot to mention the gifted membership. Who gifted memberships? Dang it. It was Palmyra Productions gifted 5 Legal Vices membership. Thank you so much, Palmyra. Deeply, deeply appreciated. And Sebastian Muller, Legal Vices, Fallen Angels. Ooh, happy anniversary, Vices. Well, happy anniversary to you. Well, we'll get to the other super chats here a little bit later. We got to keep on rolling, but I'm curious about the elbow thing. We need to find a way to figure out what that means in my humble little world.
It means she has the best elbow on the internet. I don't know, man.
That would be the Legal Vices on Twitter. Send me elbow pics.
Hey, careful what you ask for, man. Elbow pics. Whew. I'll send you some steamy ones.
Thanks, but
you asked for them already. It's done.
Now we get like a bunch of AI elbow pics. Have you seen that pizza commercial that was generated entirely by AI?
It was so fucking awesome.
Oh my, that was just the weirdest thing ever.
Pepperoni hugs or whatever.
Yeah. Oh, hang on here. It was so uncanny valley. Oh, there we are. Oh God.
Like the fingers are never holding the pizza just right. They're weird.
Yeah, and
I love
the
it.
eyes are all wonky and they all look like they've got an extra chromosome or 3. It's
yep.
All right. Yeah, pepperoni hug spot. That's what it is. It's the pepperoni hug spot.
That's right.
The production, the images, the text, everything was AI generated in this commercial.
Are you ready for best pizza of life?
Best pizza of life.
This is.
Are you ready for best pizza of life?
That right there, that's just like Baby Ruth. This is a total goon. It's a Goonies commercial for pizza.
Life. Bring friends down to Pepperoni Hug Spot. Our chefs make pizza with heart and special touch. Cheese, pepperoni, vegetable, and more secret things.
More secret things. I love it.
Need delivery? Pizza's coming.
Did you see his wonky eyes? I love the wonky eyes.
Vegetable.
Yeah.
Things. Need delivery? Pizzas come fast. Knock knock. Who's there? Pizza magic.
Pizza magic.
Pepperoni Hug Spot Pizza. Your tummy say thank you. Your mouth say Pepperoni Hug Spot. It's like family, but with more cheese.
I actually love that tagline.
That's a great line.
Like family, but with more cheese.
Yeah, I would
love that tagline.
If that pepperoni hug spot existed, I would be there in a heartbeat. Like that sounds fucking terrific. Oh God. No, I saw it the other day. And I was like, this is amazing. It's fantastic.
Oh, yeah, I just saw that like earlier today, and I'm like, wow.
Was that a response video to the other AI video that came out? Because the other AI video was like really. Have you seen that one?
I don't know what other AI video you're talking about.
It like made the rounds on Twitter. On Twitter, someone said Hollywood is done. It was like a purely AI generated thing. It looked like basically like a Great Gatsby kind of sort of scenario.
Oh,
like
wow.
everybody was dressed up all ritzy and just like it didn't have any talking, I don't think, which helped.
Oh, weird.
But it was yeah, it was just these scenes over and over that you would see from like a 1920s or 30s period piece, and it was like, holy shit, this is actually really cool.
AI is so scary. And I mean the thing about AI is today is the worst it will ever be again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Every day is the worst AI will ever be again.
Yep.
And we had like the Google AI guy he just resigned and said, okay, we shouldn't be doing this shit, and walks. The guy from Google that's in charge of AI for Google said we're doing things wrong.
Renounces life work.
Yeah. I mean, that's where I have the scary problem. Just thinking this is as worse as it's ever going to be. It's never going to be worse than it is right now. It's only going to get better for the rest of time until the collapse of Western civilization.
Let me calm everybody down on AI. I can do this. I'm actually the only person qualified to do this. I too was worried about AI because I've watched Terminator.
And we know where it's going.
I've read Warhammer 40K. Like I know where AI always leads. But you know what else happens in movies and novels and all that stuff? Flying cars and skateboards. Because Back to the Future 2, remember that was 2015 with hoverboards?
Yeah, we were promised those.
Yeah, that never happened. But you know what did happen that wasn't predicted? PornHub. PornHub happened, but flying skateboards and flying cars did not. Let me just look. I know everybody's worried about AI. They're like, oh, it's going to start a war. It's going to take over the humans. This is a problem. Every single problem that's ever come. All that's actually going to happen is that there's going to be just a plethora of AI porn. And that's it. Like, that's going to be the solution because the AI will figure out that is how to keep us complacent. And it will do that.
Pornhub got blocked in Utah today.
Really?
Yes, because there was no way to verify the age of viewers. So Pornhub has been blocked in Utah. And if you're in Utah and you go to Pornhub and you try to access the site, it gives you this little message from the management that says, because of your laws, now all of your children are going to go to places that have even fewer safeguards than we do.
Yeah. Which is pretty funny because, yeah, Pornhub deleted something like 85% of its content when they got hit with their child porn allegations. They just purged everything that wasn't a verified user upload. And
yeah, so now if you want to watch Pornhub in Utah, you got to go ask your mom if you can borrow her ID for Pornhub or something.
I was trying to find out because I think Louisiana tried to implement that as well. And I did a show on it. And it was I can't remember who was on with me. It might have been Kurt. And we were trying to talk through, like, is this even allowed? Like, is this permissible under the First Amendment to block entirely a website because of a compelled speech requirement, right? Like, because you're compelling speech and there's no actual verification involved. But it used to be, because I remember being under 18, it used to be that you had to put in a credit card. Like, you had to put in some sort of thing to try and verify your identification. And even if it was free, they wanted you to put in a credit card to verify you were over 18. Also to
Nick,
scam you.
You're so young. When I was under 18, you had to drive an hour outside of town to the next town, which for me was Ogden, because everybody in Logan probably knows your parents. There was one skeevy guy that would sell to other people, but you to be safe and save yourself embarrassment, you drive an hour outside of town to Ogden, Utah. You go to the Circle K that's run by a shady Middle Eastern guy, and you would pick up your magazines there and smuggle them back into your house. That's what you had to do. When I was young, you had to drive an hour to get your porn, or to have like the one kid down the street whose father was the degenerate.
Yeah, well, okay. My experience isn't too far off of that, actually, because remember when I was 18, dial-up still was the predominant thing.
Yeah. We've talked about that before. Like, it was like, I've had to explain $50 and $75 phone bills to my dad. It's like, why? I was calling long distance to California. I called the number and all the ears. What is this? Like, nothing, Dad.
Shush, Dad. Yeah, I watched lines of Cindy Crawford be drawn on the stream or on the screen, just waiting for that one nipple.
But
like,
then there's a point where you've spent 20 minutes on a long distance phone call to some shady bulletin board in California, and you're going, oh my God, fuck, it's a halter top, God damn it.
You bastards.
You got to start over again.
I think people remember, like, if you did not experience the line by line downloading of an image, because all you remember is whole images popping up on your stream or on your screen, you have not interneted old enough.
Seriously. Yeah, and if you remember anything measured in bauds, like it's 64 baud modem and shit. But and you're like 13. You ejaculate by the time it gets to the nostrils, you know.
Yep. the
But worse is where right before you get to the nipple, someone else picks up another damn connection in the house.
Oh, the worst. But yeah, the concept of the nipple itself was enough for you. Like, I will see a nipple, so I can actually just bank this one.
Yeah, you can just start now because you know it's gonna come unless someone answers the phone. It picks up the phone and then it disconnects you. You've got mail. Oh God, those were the days. I'm so glad we have technology now. But on the other side of the things that did happen, I love watching the original Star Trek series.
Yeah,
because this is supposed to be 500 years in the future, and they've got Motorola flip phones. They've got 3.25-inch floppy disks. They've got the thumb drives. They have all of this shit that wasn't supposed to happen for 500 years, and we've had them for decades.
Yeah. It's amazing, like, where technology goes, and where it doesn't go. But I thought about flying cars the other day.
Oh my God! Hang on, legal advice. Do you mean on the 21st, just off the freeway? Because yes, that's exactly the one I mean. Yeah, the 21st Street exit right there in Ogden. That's exactly the one I mean. That's funny.
There you go.
Okay, sorry about that. You were saying?
No, I was just saying. I was thinking about flying cars and what a disaster they would be,
especially in Korea.
Like,
Jesus.
For every one of you out there who has a cousin or uncle with like 4 DUIs, now imagine they were planes.
Yeah,
like,
and you had to worry about 3 dimensions.
Yeah, they'd just be crashing into houses left and right. It'd be chaos. It has to be. It would have to be. You think there's no way. What I mean is, there's no way the government will allow us to have flying cars without automation. Like, there's no way that they're going to allow you, or more appropriately, your cousin Elmer, to fucking drive a fucking missile through the air.
Right.
Not a chance.
Oh God, Lord Bynum, settle the fuck down. You know what I meant. Jesus, I meant a 3.5-inch floppy drive. God, settle down. We used to like play the karateka on like an Apple IIe with the 5.25-inch drives. Stick it in there, wait for 20 minutes, have a 30-second fight, re-upload it for 20 more minutes.
Yep.
What was your earliest computer that you had?
The earliest one I had was an Atari XE.
Wow, cool. My rich ass friend had a Commodore 64.
My dad had an Apple C and an Apple IIe. I remember both of those. I used to mess with the Apple IIe a lot. That was the one with the green screen.
Yeah.
And I remembered when we finally upgraded to an IBM computer. Wait, I still call them an IBM computer. I don't think it was a Hewlett Packard or a Compaq. I think it was a Compaq Presario.
Yeah, they were all IBMs back then.
Yeah, that's literally we called them an IBM versus an Apple. But yeah, it was a 486 SX 25 megahertz processor.
Wow.
And then he took it right back and upgraded to the 33 megahertz processor. Because it came out like the next day or something. But yeah, before that though, and I know that there were 386s and stuff, but yeah, it was the Apple IIe and then that 486. Whoo, baby.
Ooh, in locals, Adams computer ran off cassettes. They had the Adams and they had another one that ran. God, what the hell was it? They had another one that ran off cassettes. That would suck. To play like a game of asteroids, you would literally have to wait like 30 minutes for this tape to upload the cassette tapes. There was the Adam computer and PET computer. It was the PET computer, the PET computer. Yeah, we had those in my junior high. Then we got the Apple IIes in high school. The first one I ever owned was the second Apple MacBook. It was the PowerBook 140.
Ooh.
And because my friend had the PowerBook 120, the first laptop to come out, And I got the 140 when I went into law school. And people are like, show off. What are you ever going to need 40 megabytes of hard drive space for?
Yeah, it's like you don't know how much porn I'm about to look at while this guy talks.
Well, I had a friend whose father worked for AT&T, and I remember having to sleep over at his house, and his father brought out this gigantic plastic donut. It was this big.
Yeah.
And he's saying, "Do you know what this is?" And we're like guessing, and he says, "No, this is a 1 megabyte hard drive. It was the first 1 megabyte hard drive, and he said it cost $10,000."
Yeah, my dad worked for Cray supercomputers, and they were Cray Research at the time. And he brought me some tapes because some of his friends wrote all the software to so database centers used to be this cylindrical open space, and then around the cylinder was just a stack of these tapes. And so this robotic arm would sit in the middle, and it would grab a tape and it would put it in the drive to access data, and then it would take it out and put it back and then grab the next tape or whatever. And so a lot of my dad's friends were the people who wrote the software for the robotic arms to find the tapes and do all that stuff. So he brought me this tape, and this was probably 1992. And he handed me a tape, and he said, this thing, it was a black tape, it was about this big, and it was just a spool of this stuff. He's like, holds 6 billion bytes. 6 gig. Well, it was not quite 6 gigabytes, but you know what I mean with the math. But effectively what we would call 6 gigabytes now. And like my mind was blown because that didn't exist. Like that doesn't exist as a concept, like that much storage at that time. It was crazy.
And now our phones make that look ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, just laughable. There was one point when my phone was actually way more powerful than the computer I was using at that point in time. But where is it ever going to end? We've seen Terminator. We know how it's going to end. But you're much more optimistic than I am. I'm pretty sure that's going to. I'm like,
it's all.
I grew up watching war games. Like, would you like to play a game? Boom, nuclear war. We all die.
Yeah, remember when they thought that missile command would lead us to nuclear war?
Yes. Oh my God.
And turns out it didn't. All it did was led to porn. Guess what? That's where AI is going, baby. I'm not worried about it at all.
It's probably already there. Porn bots would be nice though. See, they probably have like the dolls with like Dollhouse Phil and other people.
They just sit there.
Concept
it's
of
weird.
Cleaning them.
Yeah, they need to clean themselves.
It's icky. It's just like the icky thing.
See what you need. You need your own autonomous sex bot, right?
Yeah.
And then it needs to be a sex bot that cleans itself on camera on OnlyFans for other people to watch. So your autonomous sex bot makes you money by cleaning itself out, and the weird degenerates pay for that. See, that's good. That's a good idea.
A good Russian show on Netflix called Better Than Us. It's kind of about sex robots that kind of revolt. It's an interesting show. Speaking of which, I just happen to have this story up. Speaking of sex, a prolific sperm donor with over 500 children must pay $110,000 if he donates again.
Why?
Court rules. Why? He's got 500 children, and this is in Denmark, is it? A sperm donor who may have fathered over 500 children now faces a fine of $110,000 if he donates. Court ruled on Dutch court. It's a Dutch court. Heard the case of Jonathan Jacob
Get Charlie
Meyer.
Peace on this man's case immediately.
He promised mothers who used his sperm that he would stop donating in order to limit the risk of accidental incest. I guess like but
he continued to donate anyway. Of course he did. What a
Of course
Chad.
he did. Many mothers have indicated that he should stop, but nothing helps. Going to court is the only way to protect my child. Now the judge has ruled that Meyer, originally from The Hague, must immediately stop donating and must call up any clinic where he has donated and request they immediately destroy his samples.
That's awesome.
I mean, he's like fathered so many children that the people in The Hague are worried that there's going to be a whole bunch of inbreeding going on in the country. That is awesome.
Dude, I was watching a TikTok video the other day, and it was a woman, an older black woman, probably in her 40s, with a young black guy behind her. And she was like, this is so-and-so. We met and hit it off. We had our first kid. And we had our second kid. And then we took the DNA test, and I realized that he was my son that I gave up for adoption 21 years ago. It was like, oh
no.
And the dude's in the back just like,
no, I just hope that's fake, because why would you put that on the internet?
Yep. No, it's, that's what makes it real. That's what makes it real, Jeff. Because
God damn it, if only Jerry Springer were still alive to sort this shit out.
Damn it, Jerry. Gone too soon.
Just please don't take Mari yet. He's our only hope. Well, you're probably right, because if it was real, if it was fake, it wouldn't be there. It was just as long as I'm smashing my son, I may as well get the few $1,000s I'll get from clicks.
Yep. Nailed it.
No. I need a drink. That's rough. I don't know why this video just popped up. I haven't seen this for a while. Have you seen like the 15-year-old kid that just basically calls this girl an illiterate mess?
No.
Oh, this is beautiful. This is like the most base little 15-year-old boy ever. This is what came up on the random thing right after the last YouTube video I watched, I guess. Let me make sure the volume is on. This little kid is based as fuck.
No. I didn't know that I was going to be talking to a bunch of illiterate people who don't know how to read.
You're literally 15. What do you know?
Bro, you know how to read?
Yes, I do know how to read.
Name 10 books.
Oh, fuck.
Yes, 100%. Name 10 books.
Well, I read Game of Thrones. I'm obsessed with like the Twilight series. Game of Thrones, the series.
What's the book called? It's not called Game of Thrones. She's just trying to come up with a bunch of nonsense, and she can't name any actual books.
Bro, shut up, kid.
10 books.
You're changing the subject.
Okay,
actually.
3 books.
Okay. Well, the Game of Thrones series.
It's not a book.
Twilight series.
It
is a book. It is a book.
No, but
it's not a book, bitch.
I'll do the book right now.
Okay,
Matter of fact, you want to show?
That negates the point.
Let me show you the series, since you don't believe me. I'll show you, since you don't believe me.
The book is called The Song of Ice and Fire. Now, before you embarrass yourself by looking up the name of a book, she couldn't even actually name a single book. She doesn't know how to read. Clearly illiterate.
That's the most base little kid ever.
She could not name a single book. I tell her to name 3 books. She can't even name one. Can't name no books.
I haven't seen that for a while. That was just beautiful.
No, like, the book's called the Game of Thrones series. No, you dumb bitch.
It's called Song of Fire and Ice. Before you even look it up and embarrass yourself.
He seriously, it's like 10. Just name 10 books, which, like, kind of when you think, like, if you're put on the spot, is a little bit difficult. But 3 you should be able to manage.
You should probably be able to
like
manage at least 3.
War and Peace, the Bible,
Romeo and Juliet, anything.
Something else.
Well, you mentioned the 4K thing. I haven't read them, and every time I tell people I haven't read them, people look at me like I'm from Mars.
Oh,
like,
Warhammer?
Why not? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, who would read Warhammer 40K books? Why would anybody just read them? Like, who would just have those sitting around right by them at all times?
That's a very nicely bound edition.
Just sitting there looking at good old 40K stuff.
Who's the publisher of that? That's a nice book.
The Black Library. They publish in-house.
That's cool.
Yeah, this one is the first founding. So this is about all of the first chapters that were made. It's really fucking great.
Sheldon Morgan says, Jeff, Romeo and Juliet's a play, but guess what? It's in book form.
It's not, look at him. He's illiterate. He doesn't even know. He's embarrassing himself on YouTube. No, but they're
God, are you there? It's me, Margaret. Oh, I remember reading that thinking, wow, this happens to girls. Oh no. And so it's 4K. Tell me, I mean, again, you obviously read them and enjoy them. All of my friends do it. Like I said, have you read them? I'm like, no, and they're like, You are illiterate. You have not read 4K.
Yeah, 40K. Oh my God.
40K, whatever.
40K.
Whatever the fuck it is. But
Look,
people
I'm just trying to help you before you get mocked relentlessly.
Yeah. Oh, that wouldn't be the first time.
No, it's so all of the these are all collector's edition books. That's all that's what I buy because I'm degenerate. But no, 40K is really interesting because it's basically it's set in the 41st millennium. And effectively all of the sci-fi has already happened. And so they just like they borrow. This game was cobbled together and the lore behind it was cobbled together over like 35 years with sketchy intellectual property questions.
Yeah.
But they basically just cobbled together bits and pieces of every sci-fi story ever. And created a universe where everybody becomes a xenocidal race of space Nazis. And that's all of them. Like everybody. There are no good guys, there are no bad guys, because everybody is equally fascist and hilarious. Because that's
fascism is funny.
Right. The only people who aren't fascist are the Tau, who are fucking communists. That's it. and it's awesome. Because it's so broad and so ridiculous, and the storylines are so absurdly heroic, right? The scale of conflict is massive. Like everything is galaxy ending levels of scale. And it's just like one or two people who end up having to do it. It's a hero complex on steroids and Viagra at the same time. Like it's so cool. If anybody wants to start reading it, though, I have a recommendation that is better than anyone else's recommendation. Anybody else's recommendation on where to start is wrong. And the only place you should start reading Warhammer 40K is with the trilogy, the Eisenhorn trilogy. Xenos.
Are those the first ones, or are those like somewhere else in the series?
No, they're well into the series, but they're not new. I mean, we're talking like they're like a decade old.
All right, let me write this down because that'll probably be my next book purchase.
Yeah, you can. So I'm gonna send you the link.
Please do.
Hold on, because they just re-released it as a single book.
Like
the
an
Eisenhorn
anthology. Cool.
Omnibus. Yeah.
All right.
And this is the first book I bought, which is why
if it's really cool and pretty, that's like extra bonus. Holy shit! I'm up to 36,001 subscribers. Thank you, people. You've got me back up over the 36,000 mark again. Wow, that's really sweet of you. Thank you, everybody.
So I just put it in the private chat. If you want to, I don't know. I don't care if you pull it up on screen or not. But this one doesn't have. I mean, it's nice or whatever. It doesn't have a super pretty collector's version unless you want to spend a shitload of money. But
define shitload.
Well, I mean,
I'm an Easton Press fan.
Yeah, you're gonna pay, like, when you go on eBay, you're gonna end up paying more than Easton Press for
so it's out of
a lot
print.
of these books. I just bought. I have a guy who gets me all the new collector's editions because they're all limited to like 2,000 copies. And so he gets me all the collector's editions because he has a hookup, but they missed one the other day due to a fun system glitch. And so I had to buy it on eBay. It was like $330 for it, which sucks.
Wow, it's cool. Well, I will definitely order this book. Cool.
But yeah, this one, I mean, this is $20, right?
Yeah.
The Eisenhorn Omnibus, and it's
All
three
right.
stories. The problem with 40K is that when you start to get, just like, if you just go grab a random 40K book off the shelf, you have like a 90% chance of getting a story about space marines shooting stuff up and chopping it up with chainsaws, which, while awesome, if you're not like into the universe and realizing the kind of sort of universe implications that's going on, it can just look like what's called bolter porn, which again, it's awesome, but if you're not into it, it gets really repetitive and monotonous. Eisenhorn is an inquisitor, and it's a noir detective story, basically.
Does it have really cheesy writing, which I love?
No, it has really good writing. That one has really good writing by Dan Abnett, who he's written. Dan Abnett has written a shitload of sci-fi books. He's written like some of Iron Man and stuff like that for Marvel. He's very good.
Because I used to read a
But,
lot of Macross books, like the
Oh,
the
yeah,
Veritech
no.
Fighters and things, and that writing was so Pulp Fiction. It was amazing.
Yeah,
They were
no,
talking
it's
about one of the motherships going up, and they said it went up like a pyromaniac's wet dream. And that's one of the greatest things I've ever read in literature. The ship went up like a pyromaniac's wet dream.
oh, the old Macross books, man. With
Lin
with
Min May and I, we had several romantic interludes together. It's just unfortunate she
right, was
wasn't
it
there to
was
enjoy
it
them.
Rick Hunter that you were reading, or was
Yes.
it Hikaru?
It was Rick Hunter.
Okay, yeah, Hikaru was the Japanese name for Rick, but yeah, no,
definitely Rick. But so they kept Min May in both of them, so you know.
yeah, Lin Min May, and
Did
then
you
Lisa
watch-
Hunter, of course.
Yeah, but the thing, I mean, I that seems like
Claudia
my
could get
brother. My brother lived in San Antonio until just a couple of weeks ago, so he was going to come up to Houston and hang out with me, but he's now moved back to Utah for reasons. But he knows I give zero fucks about anime whatsoever. And I said, "Oh, I'm coming to Anime Matsuri." After he's like, "I'm not sure how to feel about that," because he has a full on Japanese closet of shame in his house.
Yes,
he's like, "I'm not sure how to feel about them. Just shut up. Just come over there." But I did, like, when I was in middle school, I would come home every day and watch Battle of the Planets. You know, G-Force, Casey Kasem voicing the lead guy, and the Battle of the Planets was awesome. Every day I'd like make a bowl of ramen and like a tuna fish sandwich and watch Battle of the Planets.
Nice.
And that was kind of it. What's the worst Nick Cage movie? There are no bad Nick Cage movies. Go away, Andrew. There are no bad Nick Cage movies.
Face Off is shit.
Well, that was just less good because it had Travolta in it. Have you seen Renfield? I'm so excited to see Renfield.
I haven't.
I mean, playing campy Dracula, that's what Nicolas Cage was born for. And like the two, I missed it. It was here in theaters for one day. Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey.
Wait,
Oh,
what?
you haven't heard of Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey?
Nope.
Well, let's see how bad YouTube hates Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. It's a Winnie the Pooh movie, which is like Christopher Robin goes off to college and just kind of forgets about all of the animals in the 100-acre wood, and they go feral. It's beautiful.
Sounds awesome.
It is.
You know, you're the first person I ever shown this place to.
Why am I so special?
Because soon we'll be Christopher and Mary Robin. We should be close now.
We're not going to find them.
We will. Pooh, Piglet, Eeyore, we were friends for many years, and they're out there.
Christopher,
Rip Eeyore.
we need to leave now.
I really need to find out what's happened here, okay?
This is way different than the Ewan McGregor one.
Yeah.
This place is kind of cold. Did you say it has a pool?
Hey.
We need to go. There's Laura's step.
This is fucking amazing.
It is. And like Piglet's this full-grown warthog.
I would have never left, I swear. I
I haven't
Isn't that
seen
the
a movie.
best thing ever?
I have not seen a movie that I have wanted to see more than this in a long time.
I've been waiting for a year for that, and it was here in one day, and I missed it. So now I got to download it. Isn't that the greatest thing ever?
Oh my god! Holy shit! That looks awesome.
No, I know. I'm going to be watching that on the plane. I'm going to Japan for the weekend to hang out with Meme Copium in Japan because it's a 3-day weekend here. I'm just going to bump on over to Osaka. I'm going to watch that on the plane while I'm going over.
God,
that just looks so beautiful.
I don't even know what to do with that. I want to watch. I want nothing more than to just watch that.
It's probably streaming already. You could probably do that for your next movie stream. I'm not sure if it's on Amazon.
That's not going to be on Amazon. Let me check. Amazon did just release a shitload of really good movies this month, so I'm actually kind of looking forward to it.
Well, Korean Amazon sucks more than any other Amazon in the world, and somehow they've managed to block VPN. So I haven't been able to participate in a movie stream night yet with anybody that does it because no, that's not available here.
I typed in WIN and it was the first result. Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. It's not on. It's. I mean, you can buy it on Prime.
It's not not available for streaming. Huh?
I know what Lady Raggets and I are doing later. I'm making her watch this movie.
Isn't that the coolest thing ever? I saw it about a year ago, that trailer, and I think this has just got to be a parody. And then I went, holy shit, this is a real movie.
It's a real movie. God, it's so fucking good.
No, they don't make good like they don't make good movies like Zombiever and
Zombievers is awesome. I did that on. I think I watched that on stream. No, I think I watched that with Lady Raggets and
yeah, you watched all the Piranha films.
Dude, no, I have not watched Piranha 3D. Only 3D.
Okay.
Because 3D hasn't been on Prime in a long time, but 3DD, of course, I watched like 5 times because it was so fucking funny that it exists.
Was it Piranha 2 or was it the 3DD where there's like full on female bush?
I mean, yes.
It was like one of I remember while watching it in the movie theater going, in a movie theater? Holy shit. It was kind of a surprise.
The 80s had lots of like random full frontal nudity.
Well, it was the rule you could either have a man or a chick.
Yeah.
You couldn't have both.
They usually chose correct.
Well, of course they did. I think like The Life of Brian was the well, there's Life of Brian that had full frontal and Harvey Keitel in the piano.
Yeah, that was
scarred
terrible.
me for life.
I did not want to see Harvey's Keitel hanging there, but the piano's
that tells you how bad it was that Anna Paquin is like a grandmother now, and I can still remember that his junk was in that movie.
Yeah, that is a pretty good movie though. Like the piano's actually a pretty good movie, I gotta say.
Yeah, a good period piece.
Yeah, but especially when that chick gets disciplined by getting her fingers chopped off, she deserved that shit.
Is that going to teach you?
Yeah. I'm trying to think what movies just got. Oh yeah, Rumble in the Bronx just got added.
Oh wow,
Jackie
That's a
Chan.
good old Jackie Chan. Yeah,
Yeah, when
good old
when Homeboy has to bring his bro back in the garbage bag after he got thrown in the, after he got dumped on him in the wood chipper, it's like, oh, that's just rude. That's so fucking cruel. Kung Fu Hustle just got added. Hold on, what else do we have in here? God,
Start getting the old martial arts movies in.
Yeah, License to Kill.
Oh my, that's my
007.
favorite Steven. What's the Steven Seagal movie? That was
Hard to Kill.
Hard to Kill. Yeah, that was one of the Jamaican. They're all the same. God,
no, the Jamaican one is Marked for Death.
Marked for Death. Yeah, because I had the
I'm
the Tone Loc soundtrack.
I'm a '90s Steven Seagal encyclopedia. So whatever you need to know about '90s
Nico.
Steven Seagal. Nico? No,
was
Nico was that was above the law. My favorite is out.
Drives the meat cleaver into the guy's hand in the grocery store.
That's Out for Justice. That was Gino, not Nico.
Okay, so it's an Italian guy who has a wife and you mess with his wife and kids. One of those movies.
I love those movies. So fucking good.
Have you seen these YouTube channels where it's nothing but reviewing really bad direct-to-video Steven Seagal movies?
Yeah.
And he just did this one called Sniper, where he's literally sitting the entire show and takes like 15 steps.
Awesome.
It's so good. He's just literally just sitting there all fat and Jabba the Hutt, the entire fucking movie, apparently. And there's one scene he walks down the stairs, walks up to some random hot Middle Eastern chick and she goes, "Oh, are you as good as they say you are?" And he's like, "I don't know, baby.
No, baby.
He was mobile in the entire film.
Yeah. So, Patriot Games, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Oh yeah, Bill and Ted's great.
Almost Famous, great movie.
You got to
Really,
watch Jim
really
Cotta. Jim Cotta is a great film.
Jim Cotta. Oh,
yeah, it was one of the 80s where he was like a gymnast, and it was just like there happens to be like a random pommel horse out in the wild that he can take all the bad guys out with, and uneven parallel bars in the woods. And
but Jeff, let me tell you the most important thing to come to Amazon Prime this month. Are you ready?
Oh, yes.
Howard the Duck.
What a fucking awesome film that was.
Yep.
I'm like, so now you've joined me as the only other person that I've ever met that likes Howard the Duck. What's your feelings on Ishtar?
I have a complicated relationship with Ishtar.
Well, the fact you didn't say that's the shittiest movie ever sets you apart from humanity.
Well,
Howard the Duck was so good.
Every time Ishtar came on cable when I was a kid, I would get a horrific case of the flu, like the stomach flu, and I would throw up all over the place. So
okay, that's kind of
yeah,
weird.
I don't know why. It's just every time it's like, oh, Ishtar's on. Oh shit, Thelma and Louise, Coneheads.
Wow,
just got added too.
Poor Dan Aykroyd. That was not a highlight of his career.
I didn't see Dallas Buyers Club, but that just got added.
Oh, Howard the Duck is so damn good though.
Yeah, it's a fucking classic.
Whichever Marvel movie that was, where he was in the post credit scene, I just made an ass of myself because I'm like, yes, in the theater, and like everybody's looking at me like, what the fuck? There's some duck on the screen. I'm like,
shut your mouth.
Howard the Duck.
Shut your mouth, you bastard.
I
Uncultured swine.
I remember watching that in the theater. It was this giant like play theater that had been converted to a movie theater. So there was like 600 seats. It was me and my best friend in this entire theater watching Howard the Duck. And we watched it like 3 times that day.
Nice. Yeah, I used to watch it a bunch when I was a kid.
That was a great movie.
It's been a while since I've seen it, so I'm definitely going to watch that one really soon.
Oh, you should. Now I want to watch it again. But now my intro made me want to watch The Fifth Element again. I haven't seen that for a while.
I never enjoy Fifth Element as much as I should.
Yeah.
Mainly because I hate the aliens, like how they look. These big, like waddling eggs. It's fucking weird.
I'm just too busy staring at her, at Mila
I
Jovovich. I'm not looking at the aliens.
Look, Jeff, I've known you long enough to know that was what you were going to say.
Well, of course. Well, you know.
Those are thermal bandages. They'll keep you warm. Oh, okay. Will they? Got it.
But the old martial arts movies you need to watch are the ones with Cynthia Rothrock in them.
Oh, fucking yes. RoboCop 2. Yeah.
Oh,
yes. Nice. And Hackers is back. Oh, God. I love it. I love Amazon Prime sometimes. Sorry.
Hackers. God, I haven't thought of that movie probably since I saw it in the theater. Wow.
Angelina Jolie. Oh, RoboCop 3 also? The Japanese one? Yes.
I may not have seen RoboCop 3. That doesn't ring any bells at all.
That's the last one I would recommend anyone to watch. RoboCop 1, 2, and 3. Like you watch 3.
Wait, is there a 4?
Oh yeah, Dark Justice. Don't watch that.
So is this like Jason meets Freddy in outer space kind of thing?
It's so bad. It's so fucking bad.
Oh no.
RoboCop 3 is Eric says RoboCop 3 blows, but he's wrong. RoboCop 3 has its place. It's not good. It's hilarious.
You're saying Tremors is too upscale. It's not good enough. It's not good enough to be a good movie, and it's not bad enough to be a good movie.
Tremors is great. I love that movie. But yeah, Tremors is never on Prime. If Tremors was on Prime, I would have already watched it. But yeah.
Dang, dogs are snoring up a storm here.
Those are the dogs? I thought someone was just driving by your house in a dump truck every couple minutes.
No, that's just Strawberry there.
Wow. Leafy
feet. Oh shit, wrong one.
Leafy Fifi Foo says
let's try removing the wrong thing.
No,
Yeah.
yeah, it happens. I know.
Need
Yeah.
to watch what? Oh,
You need to
Frighteners.
watch The Frighteners just for Arlie Ermy being peak Arlie Ermy. No, where you need, my opinion, where you need to watch Arlie Ermy is a comedy that sort of flew under the radar called Saving Silverman.
I've never heard of that.
Oh my gosh. It's Jason Biggs, the kid from American Pie, right? And Jack Black and this other guy. And
Never heard of this.
Jason Biggs is dating, what's her name? Amanda Peet, but she's evil. And so they, Jack Black and the other guy kidnap Amanda Peet to try and make him think that she left him so that he'll fall in love with the girl he loved in high school. It's a great fucking movie. It is a great, like that is one of the, it's such a good movie. I can't even talk about how good it is. It's so fucking great. And
it's
you're
called
just
Silverman?
like Saving Silverman.
Saving Silverman.
Oh, they're a Neil Diamond cover band also. Those three. Right?
Okay, that makes it even better.
And Arlie Ermy is their gym teacher, their coach from high school. And God, there's this one line where they're like, they call him up for advice. He's like, "Yeah, boys, what's up?" And they're like, "Coach, we got a problem. You know I'm always here for you boys." "All right, well, we kidnapped this girl. Kill her." "Coach, you don't even know what's going on." So then they tell him the whole scenario. He goes, okay, is that it? "Yeah, kill her."
Oh no, I'm watching this movie too. This sounds great. I have never heard of this film.
Yeah, no, Saving Silverman. It kind of flew under the radar. It's it's so great.
And how old is it? Pretty old. Well, obviously it must be old if he's still alive.
Yeah, it's mid 2000s.
Wow.
When was that? Saving Silverman.
It's now added officially to my movie list.
This is 2001. Oh shit,
Wow.
early 2000s. Yeah,
it doesn't get much earlier than that.
And Amanda Peet is a banger back then.
Oh my god, I'm so looking forward to like hanging out at Anime Matsuri and just getting drunk and talking about shit like this for 4 days.
Yeah.
This is going to be the best vacation in all 53 years of my existence.
It's going to be a blast. It's going to be a blast. I can't wait.
I can't. This is going to be fun.
August can't come quick enough.
Well, you're going to Nashville when?
September.
Okay, so it's after that.
Mm-hmm.
So anime is your next big thing, Matsuri, huh?
I think Mindset may be coming to Nashville too.
Wow. Okay. Can stick around the whole time?
I have no idea.
Oh, it's so funny on Flashcast last Sunday. First of all, Sunday for me.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to actually get to Anime Matsuri this year. I'm like, Annie, you may want to check out their website. So you are the actual headline performer. And she's like, what? Oh, fuck. She had no idea that she was like front and center featured as the headliner on their webpage. But yeah, it'll be fun. I can't wait to see everybody. It's going to be huge. But yeah, everybody should be there.
Anyone who can.
If I can come from fucking Korea, you can come from somewhere else.
Yeah, there she is, right fucking on the front.
She had no clue.
Job. Full guest list. I wonder if I'm on it. Yeah, I'm not even on it yet. Oh
yeah. Well, I've got the hotel room booked today, so we're good to go.
Nice. It's gonna be fucking great.
Well, it's what, the 10th to the 13th or so, 10th to the 13th, 10th to the 14th, whatever. I'll come on the evening of the 9th, get in like about midnight that night, and then just kind of not sleep for the next 4 days. That'll be fun.
There you go. Who needs sleep? Sleeping is for the dead.
I just got I don't even give a shit, but I got the whole package deal thing because I just don't like people telling me I can't go into rooms. So,
yeah,
so I just got the whole thing like, you can't go in there. Well, fuck you. Yes, I can.
That makes sense.
Oh my God, Steph. I guess we got to get through the super chats here. Jeez. How are you doing on time? It's kind of getting morning for you. Are you doing well on time there? Yes, you.
I thought you were talking to Steph because you said Steph. My brain broke. No,
it didn't. In my head, I'm like, oh, Steph. Oh, wait a minute. We've been going 2 hours, 19 minutes. I don't know how much time Nick has. I better ask Nick how much time is. So then I just said that all went on in my head. You heard correctly.
I probably need to buzz out pretty soon because I think I need to crash back for a few minutes before my day really gets started. But
it's about time to get through the super chats here, especially with some of the big ones coming in. We can do that if you want to stick around. If you want to bail now, it's entirely up to you. Got about 30 super chats to burn through.
Let's
not burn through. People get upset when I say burn through.
Let's start doing some super chats, and then I might peace out in the middle of them.
Let's do that. Steph the altar nerd. You need to get Steph the altar nerd. She is so fucking funny. She is so hilarious. She's a super person. Absolutely the best. Phantasmagoria. What a great video game that was. Good morning, Legal Vices and Nick. I saw Richard Fuck Richard Marx. That was the worst fucking concert I ever promoted. What a dick. I saw Richard Marx and the guys that did Eddie and the Cruisers soundtrack at Astro World for $5. Okay, there you go. Richard Marx and Eddie and the Cruisers had to split $5. That's about right. And a can good. Lol, much. No, Richard Marx was such a prick in this. He's like 5'2", 5'3", but he was like thinking he's all Richard Marx. And he was yelling at people because they were getting too close to the stage, which meant they were like 30 feet away. He's like, I'm going to stop playing unless you back up. He was just a dick. Oh, what a horrible human being. But I'm glad it only cost you $5. The best $5 concert I ever went to was a 4th of July celebration. It was a Weird Al Yankovic's Like a Virgin tour with the Monkees. That was then, this is now. That was so cool. Hey, Jeff, and nice to meet you, Rick, says Joel Rice. Thank you so much. And President Camacho bringing another super chat. The Holy Mountain. It's different, but much like Serpent and the Rainbow, but 70s movie, right? Okay, The Holy Mountain. I just love getting like bad movie recommendations and good movie recommendations. Been there, done that. Again, this is like you had to dive seriously deep into the internet to find this picture of me. Been there, done that. I would like to see Jeff speak Korean and Nick translate. And that would be awkward. Adam Richardson. Ginster, surprisingly little known, but it won World Spirits 2018. Ginster, sorry. By far the best sipping gin. Better than Monkey 47, but I prefer Monkey for gin and tonics. Ooh. Going expensive with the gin tonics. I just use Costco Rot Gut for my gin tonics. Cedar Rose, another super sticker. Thank you so much. Tom Grohl, in Kentucky, we have Drunk North Dakota Stumble. Okay. What's in Drunk North Dakota Stumble?
I have no idea.
All right. Not so. Thank you for your super sticker. Emma's Kitchen. Can't wait until Budweiser brings out the bikini calendar. It's going to be nuts. I see what you did there. I see what you did. Remember when Budweiser commercials were snow, sleds, Clydesdales, frogs going, Bud, why, Zer? And that was all we cared about.
Yep.
But can't mention she who must it. Yeah, can't mention DM.
Everything
right
used to be simple.
Yes, I live in Logan. Wow, I almost said sorry. I'm here, pleased to hear that. And watch you regularly. Did you know they tore down a big chunk of downtown to install an effing ice skating rink? I hate our mayor. When did they do that? Wild. I'll be in Utah from the 13th or whatever day Anime Matsuri ends until the 22nd of August. We'll kind of do like a Northern Utah meetup thing at some point. Probably in Brigham City at Peach City, Peach City is this great old like 50s diner that still has like all the original soda fountains, and they make the old malted milk that's like straight from. Oh, they're so amazing. They've had the same recipes for fries, burgers, and malt since the 50s.
God, I could deal with a fucking burger and some fries. Oh my God.
MLS Law Show. Thank you so much, brother David. To just drop by to drag some of your chat to my Letitia Stotch stream.
Well done.
We'll give you the raid when we're done. That is a wild case. Mephisto's movie reviews. Congrats on 1 year, Jeff. Like most, I discovered you because of Nick. Most people discovered me because of Nick, to which I am gratefully and forever indebted to Nick. And stay because of the fun and laughs. Well, that's what we try to do. Just fun and laughs for everybody. Man, congrats, Jeff. Watching you for the last year has taught me to never get on a ship again.
Yep.
Yeah, little Maritime Mondays are fun. stick around for next Monday. That'll be fun too. Doral on, congratulations and happy anniversary, Jeff. How's your keyboard? Yeah, I may or may not have spilled a good quantity of soju on my keyboard last night with Andrew. But it's a gamer keyboard, so it glitched for about 20 minutes, put a little blow dryer on it, and now it's perfect again.
Look, gamer keyboards are meant to catch much worse things than soju.
Well, I figured it was like Coom is the only thing it blocks instantly, I guess. And hi to His Holiness the Law Pope.
Hi.
American virus is freedom. My mother got our Atari from Box Top Points. Wow. She worked at she worked at General Mills, so she cheated. It made it easy. AI will replace all workers that program computers before plumbers. Congrats on 1 year. Thank you. Yeah, you cheated. You cheated to get that Atari. We just had to go to the rich kid that had Missile Command and Pong and all those other awesome games. Space Invaders.
I had a
Fair
boxing
Frozen.
game where you could
Oh, you did?
customize. You could customize your boxer, and like you could have them like these little tiny twig legs and like a big giant Mike Tyson upper body and stuff. It was weird.
So kind of like the Mike Tyson fights game where he's like walking around.
Yeah, but it was the Atari controllers. You just had the little stick and the one button. It's like
I hate was that the one like where you had to look through your player and you couldn't see the other guy because your own guy was in the way?
no, that was Punch Out on Nintendo.
Yes, it was. It was Punch Out. That's the one I was thinking of. God, I hated that game. Nick Rekieta. I've read a book. It's called Death Sentences by Matthew C. Harris.
Yeah, there you go. What up,
Nice.
ho? I read a book. I'll read you a book right now.
Do you want to do a remote Matthew C. Harris unbreaded reading tonight? Are you set up to do one?
I mean, if you want to,
we can do a remote version here if you're so inclined. Yeah.
Hold on.
But Dean Switzer says on the road, Big Sir pulling some Jack Kerouac in, trying to make people think he's literate. Bod Daddy Mac, thank you so much. Coming in late, so I'm back on the whiskey stuff. Well, good for you. What exactly is the peat taste in Scotch? Well, most of them, they'll either use a heated floor to stop the malting process. When they let it soak for a few days, it starts to germinate. They want to stop the malting process, so they usually heat the floor just with like a heated floor with a heating coil, or with sometimes wood. But peat, they actually use earth, like this. Leaves that have compacted for like 3,000 years, and they use that, and it comes up through the floor, and it actually smokes the germinated stuff. And so that smoke just stays in it during the distillation process.
Okay, if you take a sip of your Scotch and you taste a campfire, that's
campfire, burnt meat, Band-Aids, old people,
pile of leaves, road tar, all that stuff. That's all in there. Okay, I've got a page pulled up if you want.
All right, we've got 11 super chats to get through here, and then let's jump on it if you have time. If not, we'll just read it.
Yep.
All right. Kim, a new member. Thank you for joining, Kim. Great to have you here. Potentially criminal. Hey, Sean, what's up? Sorry we didn't see you there for 35 minutes because I'm a degenerate loser. Shouldn't there be galactic peace since there's no space Jews? Asking for a friend.
Oh, you ignorant slut. Of course there are space Jews.
What's that science fiction show that everybody's watching now with like the space Mormons? Damn it. What is that?
I have no idea.
They're all like this on Starship Nauvoo, and they're all going out. The hell is that?
I don't know. I watched The Expanse. I liked The
Expanse. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. They had the giant Mormon ship. That was hilarious. Yeah.
I've only watched like the first few episodes, and then I just forgot about it until Sean mentioned that because I remember thinking, "Oh, this is going to be hilarious."
No,
The Expanse.
I liked The Expanse all the way through. Some people like didn't like it after season 4 or something. I thought it was good all the way through, though. It's really cool. Good show.
Oh, well, I have to finish that now. Jeez. And IWD, the talk of Casey Kasem reminds me of G1 Transformers and why he quit the show Federated Republic of Carbamia. Oh, nice. Population 20 million people, 50 million camels.
Yeah. Yep. That was awesome. That's a real sign in Transformers.
No.
Yeah.
That's why Casey Kasem quit.
Casey Kasem. It's too offensive for me to read the sign. Carbamia, population 20 million people, 50 million camels.
No. That was a sign in Transformers. It's hilarious.
Optimus Prime. His girlfriend has left him. Legendary Racing. That's what happens when your IP expires. Anyone can use it. Nerdrotic said he's making Steamboat Willie content when it expires. No. Sergeant Schultz. Willy's Wonderland is a great Nicolas Cage movie. Every movie is a great Nicolas Cage movie, even Face Off. Will Spain, off topic, but what is y'all's favorite Nicolas Cage movie? It's between The Rock and Face Off for me. Hands down, Raising Arizona.
Yeah, it's hard to beat Raising Arizona, man. I was about to say Gone in 60 Seconds until you said Raising Arizona.
Yeah. Her womb was a stony place where my seed could find no purchase.
Nathan Arizona is an unsung hero of that movie. Really is. So fucking
And it had Ty Cobb in it as the lone biker of the apocalypse.
Oh God, he was so terrifying to me as a kid.
Well, I remember watching him get his ass kicked and Howard Cosell quitting boxing because he got just so brutalized in that boxing match. I'm old. We used to sit in the truck and listen to the Rumble in the Jungle and other great boxing matches. Stephen Cooper, please explain how the orcs are fascist. Gets Nick R. How are the orcs fascist?
Well, okay. They're only fascist when Gazgul Thraka's around. You know that, okay? So stop it. But every other time, they're just hilarious. The orcs are just anarchy. They're chaos unleashed on the world. All they like to do is chop each other or chop people up, fight. You know, they use teeth as currency. So when they're out of money, they just break their own teeth.
Oh,
and
no.
They have this latent psychic ability. So like the stuff that they believe to be true becomes true the more orcs are around. So yeah, like so their guns don't actually work, but they believe they should, so they do. And if they paint their vehicles red, they go faster. Stuff like that.
Nice.
The orcs are fucking hilarious. Yeah.
All right. I'm down. That's cool. And Sergeant Kabuki Man NYPD, anyone?
Oh, that's a trauma classic right there.
Oh, trauma films are the best.
The problem with trauma films is it's not a problem with trauma films. Amazon Prime
Trauma
will
film has
occasionally,
no problems.
right. Amazon Prime will occasionally get trauma movies on, but the transfers are always garbage. That's the problem. So that you can't even see what's happening on the screen most of the time.
The Bird Eye Gordon films are great too. Like let's just drop a grasshopper on a postcard of the Empire State Building and make it look like he's climbing up there. Those are great. Fiery Patriot, RoboCop 5. Oh my God, there's a whole entire series of RoboCop I didn't know existed. San Francisco Death Kamikaze Police Bots.
Oh shit.
Okay. And Steph, the altar nerd, bringing it strong. Steph, love you, girl. Congratulations on your anniversary. Well, thank you so much. You are so wonderful, and I'm both proud and extremely lucky to call you a friend. You too, Steph. I'm so excited to see where you and your channel are at for this time next year. To everyone else in chat, who is going to try and match me? Well, hopefully everybody in chat does. All 1,368 of you, because I could use $13,680. Just saying. But Steph, you are awesome. And Steph, the alternate, is going to be crashing the coronation this weekend.
Ooh.
Be up there. She's not a Meghan Markle fan. She goes off on Harry and Meghan quite a bit. She's also introduced cowbag into my regular vernacular. Everybody's a cowbag in my book now. So thank you, Steph, so much for that. Deeply appreciated. And then I owe you a nice shot that I just happen to have locked and loaded here. Cheers. Toxic Avenger was a great movie too. Thank you, Steph. I really appreciate it. That was great of you. She is so fucking funny. She makes me laugh hard. All right, well, that's all we've got lined up in super chatdom here thing. And I don't think we have any other. Okay, we have it from Sebastian Muller, member for 1 month. Happy anniversary, Vices. Thank you so much. On a $2 from we just got in from Kevin Riggs. Let me get to this thing here. All right. Thank you, Kevin Riggs. Wow, it's a picture. All right. We can't have Pope here, Pope Rackets without unbreaded. Do you have your mitre with you?
I mean, I guess I could put it on if you want.
Oh, you got it there. Yeah, I just wish we had the unbreaded theme song. What can we use to substitute for the unbreaded thing here? Let me see what I've got. Wow. I guess we can. I have no idea, and this is just the only thing that's here. It's a toss up. Oh, okay.
Ape
I
has
don't know.
never killed ape, let alone an ape child.
I have no idea what that has to do with anything. Oh, here we go.
Jeff, wow.
Oh, I didn't even think of that. That was not good, was it?
Oh, that was great. No, it couldn't have been done better.
That. I meant to do that, goddammit. That was totally oh no. That was totally planned. I meant to be that awesome. Wow. I'm
so
kind of
fucking
weirdly
happy
proud
that
of
happened.
myself.
I'm so fucking happy that happened just now.
I'm like 50% proud, 50% worried, and 50% ashamed, but mostly 50% happy that
just be proud.
Oh my God. Okay. Wow.
All right. I grabbed a list page so we can just alternate lines.
Okay,
that's the
sweet.
easiest way with two people.
All right. It is time to begin.
Power of Christ compels you.
Okay. So we don't have to read the numbers.
No,
so that the attack never ends
until they don't exist.
All the enemies must be obsolete by the attack, be made obsolete by the attack.
So that there is no possibility that they may remain in existence.
Death is only part of it.
The true curse and damage of the attack is that all of the enemies become tools in service of the attack perpetually and forever. All of the enemies become weapons against themselves and against all others.
Jesus Christ, William Faulkner, a little more stream of consciousness, please. All of the enemy has become the attack.
The enemy has become the attack.
All your base belong to us. The enemy has become the attack.
The enemy has become worse than their own fears.
The enemy is consumed by the attack.
The enemy activates death upon all of the enemy.
The enemy activates death upon itself and seeks death at every moment.
The enemy actively seeks death.
The enemy actively attacks itself at every way, at every level.
The enemy actively seeks to attack itself.
That is the attack.
The enemy must actively seek death at every level.
The enemy must seek to poison itself in everything it loves and everything that it enjoys.
The enemy must seek to poison itself in everything it loves and everything that it enjoys.
The enemy must seek to beg never to enjoy anything ever again and to give it all to Matthew C. Harris.
The attack must bring the enemy so much suffering, must bring the enemy to the point where the enemy keeps the attack complete, to the point where the enemy spreads the attack completely, to the point where the enemy no longer is the enemy and the enemy is nothing but the attack.
The attack itself must be immortal.
The attack itself is the destination of the enemy.
The attack itself is the end of the enemy.
The attack itself is the destiny of the enemy.
The attack itself is your final curse to the enemy and final move to the enemy.
The attack itself is your greatest gift to the enemy. Give yourself absolute permission to deliver this complete attack to the enemy with no regard for the enemy.
Wait, what number are we on?
48.
Moved it. Oh
48.
God, okay, I was looking at 42. All right, the enemy's greatest destiny is to receive this attack. So go and bring darkness to the sun.
The enemy must be consumed and visible by the attack in all directions.
The word memory must be forgotten. The attack will be the only thought permanently.
The word concentrate, the word focus, the word vision must all be forgotten.
For the enemy will be in a single state.
Not a thought, but an infinite moment of death, suffering, and agony.
Infinite agony. Wow, that was fun. It was like a remote one. All right, we're going to go through these last super chats. We're going to give a big thank you and head on out. Thank you, everybody. We'll do this right now. Everybody, mods, thank you for being moddies. Chats, thank you for being here. All 1,323 of you that are still here, thank you for hitting that like and smashing every button. And thank you for the generosity we've seen. And especially thank you for the subscriptions that have got me back over that 36,000 hump again. And fuck YouTube for thinking you don't want to be subscribed to me. Seriously. Hate them. Jillian Ann, happy anniversary to Jeff, and much gratitude to Nick for introducing us to Jeff, who then introduced us to Yoda, Strawberry, Ernest Shackleton, and his scotch. This is the path to true happiness.
There you go.
Seriously though, Nick, thank you so much for this, for the last year, for the friendship, for the support and all that other stuff. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you. That's why I wanted to have you on here, just to chill. We haven't chilled for a while over here, and it's been great to have you here. Thank you so much,
dude. I'm so happy to come on. Thanks for having me, of course, and congratulations, man. A year of this streaming shit is not as easy as it seems, but it's usually a lot of fun. So, and I love that your channel's growing. I hope it continues to do so.
Well, thanks, and that's the last of the gay stuff we're going to do, but we'll catch everybody later. And the debut of the new outro, it's like 2 minutes long if you want to stick around. If not, we'll talk to you later, Nick. It's up to you. If not, bye. Hey, bye everybody. That's it. See ya. That's the new exit. That's what we're gonna be doing. Love y'all. See you all tomorrow for OJ Simpson. That's the outro. That's what we're gonna play from now on. See ya. Good night.